Dark Souls 2 randomizers with items and enemies shuffled are already crazy enough, especially on Dark Souls 2. But what if we shuffled fog gates as well? This means every entry point and exit point both are different locations, and there's even more fog gates that spawn when modding Dark Souls 2 with the rando than normal, like these. This run was a massive adventure full of funny scenarios and quite a bit of difficulty at times. The hardest part may have been keeping track of where I even was and where I'd been. I made sure key items weren't shuffled because that would have taken an eternity, and enemies are scaled based off the areas. Making it to the Throne of Want with all key items that we need and bosses killed to get there is the goal. So let's see what happens. Make sure you're subscribed and notified for future videos like these. And just before we begin, I'd like to give a big thank you to Displate for sponsoring today's video. When you get your displates, they make sure to package them with care, separating each one so there's zero friction between them. The absolutely gorgeous designs I was sent recently feature artwork from Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, and even Jujutsu Kaisen for my anime fans out there. It doesn't stop there though. You can go on their website for yourself and see the endless varieties of artists featuring their original work on different displates, as well as many other creators with their own displate stores. The new improvement to their formula of design is called Textra, which means you can literally feel the line work and design elements popping off the metal plate itself, something that gave me a nice surprise when I first opened them. Compared to the original matte design, these new displates offer even more depth. So if you want to hang them up, their magnet system makes it super quick and it saves you the hassle of drilling or hammering hardware into your wall. Find a sturdy surface, stick the leaflets to the wall, and from there, your magnets. Then the back of the displate literally does the rest of the work for you, popping right on the wall. If you guys want to grab displates of your own, check out my affiliate link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to get a discount for your next order. 1 for 22% off, 2 for 27% off, and 3 or more for 33% off using my link in the description or the QR code on the screen. So I think it's already pretty obvious, but this run is absolutely wild. Just making sure over here we got enemies switched, and yep, that is an explosive crystal lizard and a skeleton already trying to kill me. Oh, look, okay, we got Vengarl over here. Let's see if we can wrangle him. Yorg's spear's pretty good for the first item. Almost died, though. Old Knight Hammer's not too bad either. That's actually a pretty good weapon, even with raw infusion or none. And we're gonna make the character name Fog Enemy Item. Very uninspired, very accurate though. After looking through the characters, I decided right away Bandit seems to be the best, but I was still trying to second guess myself. Those cat boots are very alluring. And then for starting gifts, it doesn't seem like there's many that matter too much. This character definitely needs to look a little bit crazier than that. Let's see if we can keep going. Yep, definitely. Finalized creation. Right away in betwixt, we got Dragon Charms and Soul of Undead. Not that great. I'd say Humanities that normally are in that chest are better. And you can see we already have some fog gates active with the trees. You're going to notice there's a lot more fog gates on this than in the normal game. It includes Invader fog gates and many more. Drangleic Castle? Nah, we're not doing that. Let's check out this one. What do we got behind door number 2? What? Okay, so this is the third DLC, Frigid Outskirts, but that's after you beat Ava, or sorry, Lud and Zalin, the King's Pets. There's nothing here though, so this is just basically a dead end. And then we got this guy who's a statue in front of the other gate. So I guess we're heading to Majula. Looks like the best plan so far. We got the Northern Ritual Band +2, which is amazing, and some Titanite. And then Petrified Dragon Bones, Human Effigies as well. Don't mind those. Some Gold Pine Resin's great. Small Blue Burr. I don't think we're going to be using the burrs too much. Got the Estus Flask. I was also practicing parries pretty early because I was plotting my murder of this guy. Let's slap him around a little bit first, get him pissed off. Then it's a fair fight, right? So I've actually never killed this guy in the normal game. He's usually outside the Cathedral of Blue. So, yeah, I can't even remember what his name is, actually. That's how unimportant he is to my knowledge. He tries to cast the longest spell I've ever seen in history of humans and video game characters alike and just fails. So, of course, the dagger we have right from the beginning is great for this class. It is the Mannequin Knife. So, not as normal as a regular dagger, but still does some bleed. The criticals are obviously enhanced. And as he goes down, I notice there's no item. That's really bad. Okay. Thief Dagger, interesting. Champion's Stone gives us the Thief Dagger. So I'm trying to compare right here to see if the Thief Dagger's better. It does have a higher flat damage at 79, but I'm thinking Mannequin Dagger makes more sense for the bleed. What's over here? We got Agdane's Black Robe in place of the Estus Shard. That's a really, really good chest piece. It's one of my favorite armor sets in the game too, but you'll notice for lighter armor, it has great elemental defense and physical alike. We got Divine Blessing and Flame Quartz Ring in Mullen's room as well, so I'm just going to jump over here and then talk to Lycia, who actually is replacing Mullen, praying on the ground. Very interesting. So inventory so far looks interesting here too. We got Manslayer. I see the... looks like the Iron King Hammer, malformed weapon. We got the Bone Shield's pretty good as far as I know with Fire Infusion for fire defense, but nothing I would really use for a randomizer. Ring of Thorns and Spell Quartz 2 are contenders, maybe later. And oh my god, we got Poison Arrows and Magic Arrows, which is great. So right away, I'm already debating, do I want to get one of those two? And in the smaller consumable section, Skulls is not too bad. We have Petrified Dragon Bones Unlimited, so it's good if we get a boss weapon or something special that I want to spend 15,000 plus per upgrade on. But either way, Unlimited, not too bad. I'm gonna pop this soul right here, the smaller ones, and are we still gonna go look through the inventory? Man, really want to get something at least. This is kind of like fear of missing out at the shopping mall when there's like really good window shopping going on. It's like you have some money, but should you spend it? It's the beginning of the randomizer. Build is still far from being made. Everything's unknown. But poison arrows, we can always come back for them. All right, well, I'm in over my head on this one. I'm just going to leave and come back. We already know what we got. Shalquire, Large Soul of a Nameless Soldier. I'm not going to buy that one and pop it. I'm only going to get 4 souls from that. That's kind of stupid. So we'll leave Shalquire for later. She doesn't have that good of an inventory. You'll notice right away, going down to the Rotunda, though, there is a fog gate that's not normally in the game. So this is where I started to realize that this mod is not just something that randomizes the fog gates, but it's actually new content. There's tons of things that don't exist normally. And you're going to see a lot of spaces that I end up in. It's almost like GeoGuessr. You're going to have to figure out where the hell am I in the first place, whether it's backwards or just some weird liminal shoebox style double fog gate roller coaster of events until I actually get to an area that's cool. So Dragon area is pretty good right away. So we're going to go Tarzan across the zip line, light the bonfire, and then figure out what we're doing for the beginning of this area. I could, of course, run right to the end, but let's check the aesthetic chest. We got Hollow Soldier leggings, not too great. And it's pretty empty over here. The Drang Lake Knights, or just the giant Drake Keepers, I think they're called, they're usually really hard to beat, so them being replaced by any other enemy is already a better chance of making it through the first part. This second staircase, though, it's debatable. Got Stone Horseman, even got a little Bellkeeper elf guy chasing me around, a little dwarf dude, sorry. Got a Wraith trying to buff all of them, and then another Stone Horseman at the end, but still less crowded over by the fog gate, which I'll take as a W. And you can automatically activate these with iframes, so you don't have to worry about opening them like a regular fog gate. Enemies can be attacking you at the same time. Brightstone Cove Seldora already sounding a little scary spawning in here, whatever the hell that was, that growl. And I'm getting souls because people are dropping from weird spaces. Oh, look how beautiful we are. Had to take a second to appreciate the character. And back to Majula with the Emerald Herald over here. We can level a little bit. Our stats are really scuffed as Bandit. You can see attunements at 1, and we know we're going to have to use some castings of some sort. So that's going to be rough. I'm going to have to get that up quite a bit to even get 1 slot in general. The ritual bands can help, obviously, so we could rely on that later. ADP at 16 is okay, but, you know, when you reference the attunement being low, it lowers iframes quite a bit because they both boost it. I went with Vigor. You know, health is not really a bad option. And back to Seldora to just loot the lower area. Got the Throne Watcher helm. Now we're kind of looking like a superhero. Not bad. Dark Pyromancy Flame's cool, but what the hell is this guy doing? Yeah, he's definitely doing some kind of Dark Pyromancy in the ceiling over there. Well, let's go check out what Cromwell would normally have set up over here. So replenishment's pretty decent if we get some Miracle Casting Tools. Dragon Torso Stone. It's okay in this game, but maybe not better than the armor we already have assembled. Rat Tail. Yeah. And then there's this big dragon guy. Don't alert him. I don't think he sees me. which is kind of weird because when I came back subsequent times, he definitely was alert as soon as I walked over there. But I think he gets triggered by the final item. And as I confirm that for myself, I'm out of there. Now let's go down to where Freya is. We got a little bit more drip on the character. Almost getting blasted by a dark orb that was going to send me to the Shadow Realm by this guy. Looking like Pyramid Head that took a little bit too much of the roids. He's got a caravan on his back too, so he's diversifying his business. At least he doesn't have that cleaver. All right, so we're going to knock Ghosty off. We got small and silky stones, which we can trade to the crow for random items. Those are great. I'm going to stack quite a few until later. I was trying to figure out what the hell this thing was. It's just a smelter warrior, I guess, with his big chicken wing club coming through the floor. And I'm trying to scout out the base layout of the bottom of Seldor to see what are my likelihoods of running through and getting items. Now, with the way that these settings are set up on the game, the scaling is per area. So the enemies are going to be as hard as the area you're in. It's not going to be that they have their original stats for the enemy type itself, which it makes it interesting. It's definitely a little bit easier, but it can be harder in some cases too. Got some more petrified dragon bone right there in the Titanite chunk closet. And I'm making a break for it right now because I don't want to deal with everything, given that Seldor is not a super early area, and I do have the knife. There's some items over there in the spike pit, but Dragon's not tempting me to go in there. He is probably going to blast me with some sort of random BS. This room, crowded as ever, is kind of dangerous, but because the enemies are easier to kill, as you see, I almost two-shot that guy from the I guess it would be Cathedral Bridge, or the, what would it be? The, I think it's the Chariot Bridge. Yeah, even the Archdrake Knight goes down pretty good, but we already got a corner situation, so I'm trying to get them in the spikes. This Wraith is super tanky. And I think all we can really do is loop-de-loop and try to think of a plan. Desert Sorceress, not too good. We don't want her doing that. No, sir, we don't want that at all. Well, maybe we come back here later, because, again, if I just brute force this area to get to the Fog Gate for Freya, we're losing a lot of ground on easier places that we have access to. So, back in Seldor, what are we going to do? Let's see. I guess we'll go to Majula and we'll drop into the pit where the Rotten is. Or not. So that definitely doesn't work even with no equipment on at all. Let's go back with the cat boots like I was supposed to the first time. And that also doesn't work. So we're going to need quite a lot more health. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough with the stats we have now, so we'll come back to that later. Let's see what's in this chest over here on the way to Forest Fallen Giants. So this is our setup for weapons so far. Still going to use the mannequin knives, but we only got Skeptic Spice. That doesn't matter too much. You'll notice that there's an interesting fog gate that's not normally here as well. I think we should definitely go through it. Let's see. Ghost ship in No Man's Wharf not docked. What? Okay, I guess we can't really go there. We're going to have to somehow get to another part of the game where the ship moves from us ringing the bell for this to be retroactively accessed, I guess. So we got this one over where Najka is in the direction of the Shaded Woods. Usually you have to pull Rosabeth out of the stone statue she's encased in and then pull the lever. And we got, I guess this would be Falcon, the Outcast, replaced by Macduff. He says leave me alone because I don't have enough of the darkness within me. So we're going to keep searching and go to another fog gate over here. This is at the end of the cave that he was in. And we're in Iron Keep on the inside right after Smelter Demon dies, but we can't access the bonfire and Nishandra's in there. Can see that through the window, okay. Let's check the chest over here and see what's going on. Titanite Shard, okay, we'll take 3 of them, not bad. Anything Titanite is great as long as I can actually use it for one of the weapons we have, because I do want to get more than one weapon upgraded in the process of this. Not only just because of variety, but it's going to actually come in handy. What's on the side of the end fog gate here? Ooh, Shrine of Amana pretty early is pretty interesting. This is definitely after you go through Looking Glass Night. So we'll see if we can run Shrine. There wasn't too much going on in the beginning of it, so I decided to just get the bonfire and skedaddle. As the chase ensues, I'm feeling pretty confident since I find on Randomizer, since the frogs aren't in the water, the enemy's speed of movement can't be that bad unless you get really unlucky. So with the chance that lower quality enemies spawn in than the frogs from Amana, you know, we're pretty good, but there is quite a few Archdrake Knights still, interestingly enough. Almost as many as there is in the normal game. And luckily that experiment from Aldius keeps not even trying to pay attention to me right now. So we're just going to escape the Curse Frog. Try to get around this Pinecone man that's frozen with the Ice Rapier. And I guess this fog normally would be in the game. So that's not new or anything. It brings me to Black Gulch. Interesting. Very interesting. At least we have a bonfire here. Any single type of fog gate transition we get with a bonfire on the back end and at least one other fog gate is huge for the progression of this run. To be able to beat this is going to take a lot. I spoke about in the beginning the conditions that are required for me to actually get through it. But regardless of if I choose to cut it short or not, it's going to take an unknown amount of time, which could actually be endless compared to a regular playthrough. So this was definitely one of the most massive runs I've ever done on any of the games, period. And as we're going through the Poison Statue section, I don't have another Fragrant Branch Eora I want to be sparing, or even at all for this guy. Statue blocks the way with no message to unlock him, unfortunately. We only used our one Fragrant Branch. Or we didn't even have a Fragrant Branch. I'm wrong about that, actually. We don't even have one yet. So we'll have to come back if we want the bonfire. You think about it this way, though, you don't really need it. You could use that first bonfire to go down and get the Forgotten Key. You could use this to go to Rotten, but there's no other fog gate that it gives you access to. So getting that guy with the branch might not be a great idea, considering we have to get to areas that have branches normally. So key items not being shuffled really is scary in this because you don't access key items linear. It's just random. It still technically puts their time of occurrence in the playthrough at a very big question mark. And as we are questioning many choices I'm making by even trying this, we see Executioner Chariot. I'm just going to be dodging the needles on the outside of the chariot right here as it takes out all the enemies. That's the plan. Not bad, though. The arena does have an exit, which is great. And all I have to do is take out the Necromancer for the enemies to not respawn, right? Normally, that would be the case with the skeletons, but the Necromancer is going to be replaced by somebody else, and I actually don't even think the other enemies care. They're just completely gone. That mushroom's standing still, actually. Very weird. But as we're looting some other items, I'm going to let him do one more loop over here at least. I don't want to be too hasty on this part. So we'll pull the actual gate down. We see Vengarl in the corner replacing the Necromancer. And he's not actually aggroing either. So if that's the case, I'm not going to try to agitate him. I'm just going to leave him. Chariot gets busted into Nishandra automatically, which is really funny. And I noticed right away she tries to spawn Curse Orbs, but they seem to go through the wall, not actually in reach of me being able to be affected by the curse. This is great because the one orb behind her is really easy to avoid, and then she actually maxes out at this gate, which you're going to realize very soon. So she's not going to be able to approach me through here, meaning I could bait long-range attacks. Now, I want to stay close enough to be able to run back, obviously, and punish them, and now Vengarl's awakened. He's definitely a little bit interested in what's going on. So Mannequin Knife, not great damage, 62 a pop. That's pretty rough for this attempt right here. But again, we have no upgrades so far. We just started. Nishandra replacing Chariot, even though it's HP and this way the scaling would work, isn't too bad for early game. Still not a great setup, so this is quite an endeavor, but I think it's possible, at least how it looks so far. So later on, I'm chipping her down. It's been many moments later. And yeah, she spawned in more Curse Orbs. It seems safe, right? Goes for an overhead attack. I'm still chilling. The second she does another subsequent curse, it actually impacts me. All the orbs pop up. And yeah, there's one behind me right there. That's not great. So now I gotta basically outweigh the curse by popping health gems that I don't want to pop. I mean, even though they're the basic life gems, who wants to waste all your health items right away? And then I'm gonna basically bleed dry of the consumables on top of the Estus Flask. Well, fighting a battle where the damage per second's not going to go against the clock here. It's gonna be really unfortunate. So I'm starting to realize this. I'm losing a little bit of hope, and I just kind of realize, yeah, I'm dead. Like, I'll try to use Dragon Charm. It does freeze the ticking timer, and somehow she swings over my head. Oh my god. Okay, maybe I'm back in it. Maybe I'm back in it. Let's see. What do we pull off here? Curse still activating again. I got other Dragon Charms. Can I get lucky again if I even try that? I don't know. And she just gets me with a single swipe while I'm thinking about it. So we could always come back to Nishandra. No rush there. Very interesting, though. Back to Dreamlake Castle. I'm feeling a little bit more confident now that we've done some things in general. And maybe we could progress the game further from here. I know that all we have to do to get in the door is simply just delete a couple guys near the statues, and, you know, that might be easier said than done. But if they're not crazy enemies, maybe if I can get backstabs for criticals, it cuts down a lot of the risk, right? And I do see a Sanctum Knight there, which could be backstabbed. The spider guy's a little bit passive. He's very slow, so he could be jabbed over and over again. That's the plan. We're just going to stab him, do some loops from the Sanctum guy, and I don't even see him right now. Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there. Okay. Do some loops, kill Spidey by left statue, and Sanctum guy doesn't want to follow me completely, so it gives me some break time here. All right, let's go over by this one. Now, he's got a lot of spam. He can kill me very fast. I got to get a little bit behind him as he goes off, or just recover some of basic attack like this. And then that critical is so good. The multiplier is so good that even with this knife that barely did anything with regular attacks, takes out most of his health with the backstab. That jump gives me another easy opportunity, but I missed the prompt somehow, so I go for 2 stabs to finish him off. And that next statue's activated. We're cooking now. The doors can open. Everything else seems very chill out here. This was funny to me because I was thinking in the beginning I was kind of scared of actually going through here. I might have been able to do it right off rip, but it's nice to have extra consumables regardless. So Chancellor Wellinger now being accessible. What does he have in his inventory? He's actually replacing the handmade that gives you the ladle. So we got Black Knight Sword, Black Knight Ultra. Interesting. Matching set. Some various armors that aren't really that tantalizing. We got the Dark Arrows, which is pretty good unlimited, but the Life Gems at 221 unlimited and Homeward Bones at 809 unlimited is by far 2 of the best things we could possibly have in the game, period. But also this early is great. They might be underrated items because later on and in casual playthroughs, they don't matter too much. In this, constantly chaining basic Life Gems at a cheap price is great healing mileage. And then the Homeward Bones will actually be needed more than ever because I'm going to get in situations that you're going to see soon where I'm trapped. And I don't mean just trapped in terms of, oh, it's a dead end. I mean, literally, like, there's no way out of the area other than trying to die, but you might not even be able to kill yourself. And on top of that, too, I don't want to Dark Sign and lose a bonus of souls from before then because whatever I use to portal into the area is not actually accessible anymore. So you're going to see some interesting things. Now we're in Dragon Lake Castle over by the bonfire, trying to open up some of the doors with the other statues we can activate. And what do we got over here? Frozen Flowers, definitely going to be a good grab because if I do have access to DLC at some point, it's going to be good to have the key at least. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. Might as well. We got Dark Retainer Staff. That's a pretty good one. Maybe I could tiptoe beside this bone wheel. Tiptoe through the tulips. Night Leggings. Oh my god, he's going to kill me. Okay, never mind. I got greedy there. But maybe, though, can I go back? Wait, let me heal. Maybe I could go back. It's quite possible. I mean, I don't see that. Oh, yeah, he's there. Dude, this instantaneous just hit confirmation from this bone wheel scary. Estes Flash Shard was in the room, though, so even though I died by being blasted by a bunch of giant glowing balls, it's okay. Give that Estes Flash Shard to Emerald Herald. Let's get that flask a little stronger. Or at least more sips, we could say. And where are we going to go now? I guess back to the castle to progress to where the Dragon Rider fog gate would be. But yeah, we still have some more stuff over here too. So we opened up this fog gate. Or we have it, sorry, we have it accessible. We just have to open up the door. So I'm going to kill Pinecone Man. He doesn't seem to like fire too much. Everybody else doesn't also seem to activate. So even though it looks like a risky room, not too bad. Go shipping No Man's Wharf not docked. Stop giving me inaccessible doors, game. I shouldn't really be complaining. There's so many, but like, come on, man. I hate seeing that twice. That's crazy. And you know what? You guys can guess in the comments right now. How many of you do you think that I'm going to somehow ring the bell and I'm gonna dock the ship? Let me know. I went down to check out where the black bow would normally be. And yeah, just some gauntlets from Thronies. No big deal. Almost died to Red Pinecone. What's behind Dragon Rider? Brightstone Cove Seldora campsite. So this is great for a huge amount of items right away in this circle. Getting the Bellkeeper bow. That's crazy too. With some life gems. Great pickups here. I think that circle of items is one of the strongest congregations of items I've seen so far in one area. And the Bellkeeper bow is going to be something huge for the whole game. Like Dark Infused, you know, not that hard to upgrade. I feel like the fire speed on it's almost kind of like the short bow too. And I just kind of get lost over here trying to remember where all the other items are. That didn't work out too well, and I see one more on the well as I'm going out. Well, I could make an excuse. There was 2 dinos. One's hard enough. Let's go back. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Silky stone. Eh. And maybe I can make it up the path. Nope. You know what? That didn't work out too well. We're just going to go over here. And the main path has some dinos too. Human effigy is great. You'll come to see why human effigies matter more in this than pretty much any playthrough I've ever done later. But for now, let's check out the area. Okay, so Smelter Warrior up there. Hippo doesn't seem to care too much. I wonder if they can fall off. Oh, and we got such a cluster, we might not be able to run through this part. That was the plan, though. I was going to try it, so it's worth at least one attempt to see, because we're so close, right? Not a lot of backtracking if I die here. Okay. Bobbed and weaved under the dino. Large Shoal Brave Warrior, eh. Chances of getting the door heavily depends on if these enemies activate, or if they can recover quick enough. And the ghost being active tells me I am trapped. Yeah, he's doing like the moonwalk for me at least. Holy, he's moonwalking sideways. Well, I decided to take out the bow and clear out the enemies the good old scholar way. And it's probably the smartest thing I can do right now. Unfortunately, though, I don't have many arrows left. As you see, 13 of the magic and decreasing. 25 of the lacerating as well, which don't do as much damage right away unless you can get bleed up. And bleed up being a thing that works on regular enemies that you're fighting. And I did say bleed up. That's just like some 2026 slang for you guys. They're playing Dark Souls. Archdrake Knight almost just completely dummies me. And yeah, a lot of close calls, a lot of recoveries. Thank God we found life gems, so don't have to feel guilty about popping these. We can just go back to Chancellor Wellinger periodically whenever we need to with the bonfire. Smelter Demon tries to Michael Jordan dunk me. Does not succeed. And I'm able to shank him in the kneecap. Probably won't be able to play another season, even though that was him in his prime. And Ghost, I want to pull him from over where the door was all the way over here. Try to take him out with the remaining arrows. And look at that. 2 left. Can I get it? 1 left, and we got almost everything done. The Wraith, I'm just going to leave. He wasn't really that big of a nuisance anyways. He's so slow. And we'll see if we can open the door. Looks pretty good, Kay. There's no projectiles. Now, this room's usually packed. Let's see what we got. Got to change off the cat boots and go with some heavier armor just as I get blasted. What's the timing on that? Amazing. Item swap defense in the moment right there. But, you know, Desert Sorceress almost just incinerates me as I turn the corner. And now we got 2 hippos. We got the guy from the chariot bridge. Can I get this basic wooden door? They're going to be too slow. Maybe the hippos will body block. Oh, this guy's very slow too. And I get the fog gate for Congregation. Doors of Pharos, lower level. Okay, so this is at least a little linear. We're just going through here the normal way. No backwards shenanigans. These guys are trying to chase me through the water, but they're kind of slow too. And I'm just going to run away from them. I don't think there's any point of trying to fight everything here at all. I want to see if I can make it to the fog gate that belongs to Royal Rat Authority. That is the plan. So we'll get this ladder. And then at the top, when I got there, I realized a bit of a crossfire between this Wraith and then approaching enemies that are just counting down the time until they can destroy me as well. So I heal up. I'm just going to make a run for it. Sonic the Hedgehog approaching does not make me comfortable at all on such a narrow passageway. Luckily, he doesn't even get a single hit of damage on me, but those things are one of the worst enemies in the entire lineup you can have on Randomizer. So I swerve the corner, and let's see what that archway for Authority would be. Ooh, we're in the Old Iron King arena, but backwards. Would I be able to fight him? Or whoever replaces him, for that matter? Now, it doesn't activate right away. So I go back to the fog gate to trigger him. I only realized this right now, that that's what you have to do for this. So if you're ever backwards in an arena and these randomizers with fog gate, go to the fog gate that corresponds otherwise, and it will trigger the fight most of the time. Sometimes there's some weird things that happen where it works, but you'll see that later. And he swings himself into the pit, which I wanted to use to kill him. But then I realized, wait a second. Old Iron King can swim in his own lava, so whatever replaces him being able to swing would make sense, right? Swing itself into lava and still live, that is. Speaking of swinging, I pick the Old Knight Hammer, see if I can bonk him like whack-a-mole style. It works for such little damage, so I'm going to switch to something I can actually use a little bit better. And again, he's blocking most of these hits, so even though I hit him in the head, there's a low chance I'll line it up properly because he's just in constant guard. So I quit out of the game so I could reload the fight before he fell in that pit and see if we can do anything else. Let's see if he dies from the outside lava. No, it doesn't look like he does. That's crazy. Well, yeah, this guy's got insane properties. And I wonder if that means the game calculates that little pit in the middle in the case that Iron King himself could actually float in there, even though he can't fit. You learn some interesting things about the game's parameters and like the way the rules work. But I found a way. Surely, I found a way. We could use the bow, or we could do this. Jump attacks to the head every time he's open by backing up along the shore. And I repeated this over and over. I don't want to give you guys every detail because I feel like it'd be quite redundant. But it does indeed do 142 damage, which is a decent chunk. I see yellow. I'm happy with that. And no matter where you're located, it seems like if he doesn't backstep your attack, you're pretty good to go. You could just keep backing up about 5 to 10 feet or so, and then just boom, get him even through the ground. Right there, he got some iframes when he jumped. But eventually we got him down to nothing purely just by this and a little bit of arrows. He really wanted to survive, though. I feel bad for the guy. Imagine that's your perspective, a guy just jump attacking you in the head, and you're in a swimming pool of, well, I guess it would be like nacho cheese. Strong magic shield is our prize, and let's see what's behind this fog gate. Weird, Invader Banished was popping up right as we reached Broom Tower. So I have invaders turned off for this just to make it a little bit more livable. And Broom Tower in the foyer area is interesting because we don't have the Iron Scepter to activate any of the lifts. So nothing's going to happen from this point at all, really. I could do very minimal amount of things, which we do explore a little bit, but for now we're going to go level up really quick. Get a little bit of everything, sprinkling some vigor, and then attunement, obviously, strength, dexterity, the whole shebang, getting the build set up on a very basic level so we can have access to more weapons, including this Old Knight pike right here. I love this weapon out of the Old Knight selection. I think polearms are one of my favorites in Dark Souls 2 in general, and we got the spin to win. So, as you can see, no Scorching Iron Scepter in inventory, meaning lifts are not active. It did give me some Homeward Bones in the corner, though, so thanks, Broom Tower. Appreciate the sponsor. And from there, let's see what's in this room over here. We got Throne Defender's Soul, which is a big pop. I think that's going to be nice when it comes to budget later, but I'll save it. And we can transpose it if we want to for a random corresponding item, but that's only if we find Strayed, or potentially even, I don't know if Ornifex also does that too. I can't remember. Ballbag Bobby in red comes up with a vengeance. All the times I killed his cousins and brothers, and that butterfly is just straight chilling, not even catching fire from how close it is. I feel like, dude, it would catch fire from being that close. It's a butterfly. It's almost like a piece of grass. Come on. Well, I take a little bit of time to get rid of it because I don't want to backtrack and have poison get me in the end. And after we take it out, another Ballbag Bobby trying to seek another level of vengeance over his red counterpart. Not today. Sanctum Knight round 2 so far. Can we get a backstab? We're going fishing, boys. Oh, the medium roll into the up the bum special is what we'll call it. How's it feel to get killed by the Old Knight Pike? Probably feels pretty embarrassing because he's from the DLC. All right. Well, a rat replaced the Smelter Warrior, which is really weird. And then on top of that, he doesn't even have AI. He literally just chills there. So I hit him once with an arrow to check. The health bar popped up. Nothing happened, though. He didn't aggro. Very interesting. But we got this outdoor area now open, and we're going to open the shortcut back to the main one, of course. So we'll pull the lever for this big gate. And at least that's set up for later. So bonfire is right there, feeling pretty good. Now, what's up this area outside? This is where Scorched Iron Scepter usually would be, but we can only go from the outside. The gutter. Oh no. Okay, this is the gutter backwards. And it sucks because this part of the gutter is cut off from a lot of the other stuff. So there's not much we can do here. We can pick up an item. You know, hexing urns, whatever. Again, backtracking from this is just not really a thing you can do from what I understand. I did check the far other side too. Didn't really work out too well. I mean, even on this closer side, there's nothing you can really break with the walls. So that's a no-go. We're going to go back. And from there, we'll homeward bone. Unfortunate. But it does happen quite a lot in this run. So let's see what we can go get from Cromwell round 2. If we don't get stomped into a pancake by Dino Duckfoot over here. He does have effigies, and he does have that large Proud Knight soul, so converting that for more souls, it's always the randomizer special, it's always the tactic. If you see a soul that's for a higher poppable value available at a lower price, It's basically like if you went to the bank and they said money costs less money than the money that you pay. So you pay $10 in cash and they put $20 in your account. Amazing. Doesn't even make any sense, but hey, this is Randomizer and nothing makes sense at all. And there's nothing else I really want from him at all. Those humanities I'm going to have to come back for later, most likely. Maybe some of the healing items at some point, but for now, back to Mullen. And I'm thinking arrows for sure, maybe charcoal pine resins. The skulls are a little bit alluring, as their name entails, but skulls in this are random though. It's kind of like if you want to use them, you'd have to know you're going to get through the area if they're a limited quantity, and he only has 10. So it's really just the debate between poison and magic here. I get magic because they are one of the highest damaging arrows in the game. A nice 100 plus count of arrows keeps the enemies at bay, and back to Nishandra again with those arrows we just collected. So pulling the chariot gate, getting set up, and now we know, at least if I need to, I can max out the distance and just arrow her. But curse orbs don't actually affect me again, and we got that old knight pike with way higher base damage, even no upgrades. Crazy compared to the knife. Now she uses curse orbs that do actually push me back quite a bit, and lasers coming in, but I noticed the max range on it isn't great and she can't advance anymore. So let's chill back here. What does she do? Let's see. Belly button shot. 105's not bad. Moving up to the cranium, and she's not attacking at all. So it's very likely that she's just going to basically be an AFK dummy for the rest of the fight if I purely use arrows here. I want to wait out the curse orbs though, so long story short, we just chilled here and did that for a very long time. That is the one in the books when you guys read this story back later. We just chilled in this spot. Your legendary character in the ancestry and the lineage just chilled with a bow against an enemy that was dormant and just basically AFK. So as she did laser, I did go back in to be a little bit more of a warrior here, and you know, not as much of a noob just chilling. Let's see, do we get curses in the vicinity? Nothing so far. Again, I don't know how that even changes when her spot doesn't move too much. Really weird. You're gonna see some other behaviors from other enemies too where it doesn't make any sense, and then interplays of multiple things happening at once that blow my mind too. This one's just kind of courteous though, so not too surprising, just nice. And oh, I almost get greedy. No, don't get blown up by the AoE. That might have actually killed me on a counter hit. Good thing I got away. Nishandra looks like she kind of fits this arena, by the way. Executioner Chariot Arena and Nishandra, good collab. Mushroom, get out of my way. Took out that mushroom because he was pissing me off. Got the bleeding serum. We also found from a dropped enemy item, Sorcery Clutch Ring. Sorcery Clutch Ring is great if we're going to be applying a magic effect to something or using the arrows. I think it might boost those, I'm pretty sure. We got the Forest of Fallen Giants on the back end of Chariot Exit. And these enemies, because scaling reasons, are so easy to kill. There's so many items in this area too, so I just decided to go and loot like crazy. Fume Sorcerer Gloves are great. Royal Soldier Ring +2, amazing. I'm putting that on right now. It's going to increase our equip load. Of course, we got to deal a daily dose of backstabs to these Cyan Knights. Criticals are their favorite thing, as you saw in my last Dark Souls 2 run. You just got to either parry them or backstab them to really just drive it home. It's almost like at the golfing range at this point. Just line up a Scion and shove a pole up them. Come on. This mannequin tried to kick me down the ladder, and other guys were approaching, so I was a little bit scared. Decided to backtrack. Then again, I was thinking they are pretty easy to kill, but I'll leave them. I'll spare them this time. I've done enough destruction and chaos for a day in this area. And there's still one more item here at the end. What is it? Ring of Prayer. It's going to boost our faith quite a bit. So that's going to be a nice thing to actually bridge the gap, not only just for spells and for meeting requirements for weapons, but also to talk to Falcon to be one with the dark, right? And Dark Diver Ground Hall as well. So I got Crimson Water across the butterfly jump right there. And I'm lucky I actually got that jump. That was not a baby jump that failed. Got to serve up some more backstabs to this Alone Knight Captain because he just looked so juicy in the water. And I believe he's replacing the Hippo, so it's nice that we actually got an easier enemy, I would say, even though you'd think of him as a harder one. You can't backstab the Hippos. They're really inaccessible in this game. You just got to fight them straight up or wait for them to end their combo or they'll eat you alive. Humanity Chests has Agdane's Kilt, which goes perfectly with the fact we found the Grave Warden top. That's part of the set. Life Ring +2 and Shield of the Insolent. Such a crazy drop back to back. with the kilt and the Royal Soldier Ring from earlier, this area so far has the best items. And Shield of Insolent does boost stamina recovery, so we're throwing that on, of course. Let's check out what's over here. Lost Bastille. Well, guess we got to take out these enemies at the end of the hall so we can keep exploring, or at least, you know, save ourselves a couple heart attacks. Probably would be better if we blew them up with fire, though. That was, yeah, that was definitely a better idea. How dare you try to get me while I go down the ladder over here? Let me get you. Let me get you right. Yep. Oh yeah, that chiropractic adjustment right in the kidney. Large shards aren't bad too. He was guarding some nice treasure. Pinecone Man goes down inside of his casket sooner than he could even activate. And up here, I see a creepy crawly. We are now pest control. Oh, Barrel Guy as well. Barrel Bobby was pissing me off a little bit. Only one way to take him out like we did the other. I think there's a theme we're creating here. Now that the fire arrows are just something that I'm keen to. Boom! Not boom headshot, but boom environment. FPS Doug would be proud, but maybe overwhelmed, actually, if you get the reference. Now we got the Hide Knight chilling on the floor, and I see another barrel. Ooh. Wait, just line it up, line it up. Oh my god, through the legs of the Mastodon. That's wild. Big explosions. Michael Bay definitely filmed this. And you could tell because this Hollow Knight soldier just was a little bit more peppy than normal, dude. This guy's dueling skills, like where did he get the sword play from? Who taught him how to use a sword? That man was crazy. And he didn't even have good equipment either, so he stood no chance. We're kind of just pay to win at this moment. It's all those converted souls from the merchant shops. All right, big barrels, Hide Knight, good equation. But he's not dead yet. It's okay. Got him. Now we got the shortcut if we want to loop back around to this area from where we spawned in this part. And the door to exit to go to where the statue is and Macduff, if you remember correctly, it's blocked by a statue. So it says right there when I go up to it, so we can't even open that door anyways. Doesn't matter. It won't let you in this mod. Go back to Majula. Get off that rock, Emerald Herald. Come on, level me up a little bit. I know you're tanning and stuff, but you're not doing it right. You got the hood on. You need to just take off the hood. We'll get some vigor. Definitely need more health for survivability at all times in this when we can spare it. And now we can just barely make it down to the Rotten. Or so we think. So I'm just going to carefully chug up Estus here and make it down the rest of the planks. Looks like we got 2 fog gates, actually. We got one blocking where Grave of Saints would be, and we got one at the very bottom that goes down to the original gulch. But we already have been there, so that's interesting too. All right, let's see what's going on here with Grave of Saints fog. I probably should get suited up just in case it's something crazy, but you know what? Oh, Dragon's Rest. So that's Sin Slumbering Dragon Arena. Interesting. So we're already in DLC 1 at the final fight. Everything's going back on. We're putting our rings back on, getting the Egdane shirt back on too, White Priest hood, boots, Sanctum gauntlets that are upgraded, Shield of Insolent for stamina, Dark Pyromancy Flame for toxic mists, and we got Fume Knight. Oh boy. I do almost no damage to him because he's got Sin scaling, which is unbelievable. He's probably going to kill me very fast too, and look at the damage. He takes most of the health in one swing. See, I got to play this one really carefully. Problem with Fume Knight, healing opportunities are few and far between unless you're really to the wire, and my stamina management's kind of rough because it comes back slowly with this equip load. Iframes also aren't as good as they could be either, and I go down pretty quickly. All right, well, we could check out the other fog gate while we're over here. Let's see what's at the very bottom. Oh my god, I almost fell off. Old Radiant Life Gem, not bad, and Scraps of Life we probably won't use, but hey, it's a collectathon, right? Things Betwixt. Oh, this is over by where the bird is. Actually, I was talking about how we could actually use the bird to trade Silky Stones earlier, and we've collected quite a few since I've said that. So the ladder kickdown probably is smart, so we can at least access it quickly later. Let's see what Silkies give us in return. Desert Sorceress Hood, not bad. Small Blue Burr. Dung Pie. Another small Silky Stone. Ivory King Leggings. Ooh, those are juicy, but they're really heavy though, unfortunately, even though they have good defense. Smelter Wedge. So this Smelter Wedge, ironically, is going to be more important than you'll ever know soon enough. But it's a shame we didn't find more in this playthrough, let's just say that. Desert Sorceress being taken out first in this area back at the spike pits because she's probably going to create the most coverage while I'm running away from other enemies on the bridge. And while I'm fighting her, Kinky Whip guy comes up. I give him a Kinky Backstab. It's all good. He dies pretty quick. Back to Desert Sorceress. And she's putting up a decent fight, but outranged. And Dino wants to join. Oh my god, Clifford the big brown dino. Or whatever the color this is. So he's chomping away. He's just eating some wood over there and possibly concrete. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, Desert Sorceress, time to go down. This bridge is a safe territory. We are the defender of the bridge. Now the items are a little bit more accessible down there, but I still have so many enemies in the room in the far part, so taking them out is going to be necessary. This Wraith wants to play defense, and he actually has a lot of health, unfortunately. And not only that, we get into like a little bit of a shootout across the bridge, so when he sneaks up, finally, I just take him out really quickly, but he was shooting big balls of miracles, trust me. Very scary. I like the sorcery wraiths a little bit better, to be fair. But these guys in the inside, they actually replace the spiders, so they have lower health, which is great. It's going to be a little bit easier to knock them all down and not painstakingly numbing to the mind. The thing that I think would be really bad with the no scaling on this is that you'd be here forever. It wouldn't be fun. And I will say, if you want to do a run that's really challenging, really long, very confusing, test your memory like crazy, even if you have a pen and paper, which I never wrote any of the exits and the entries down on this. I remembered them from my memory. It's just better to have it where the enemies get scaled per area, in my opinion. I heavily recommend it. If you guys are going to try no scaling right away, you might actually just give up on this because it's just too slow. The gameplay does not move fast. And this playthrough in total, I'm telling you, it was a long time, dude. It was almost dozens of hours. You're just seeing the best of the best. And I'm trying to not cut out a single fog gate that I entered or exited. I want to show you all of them to be accurate at least. There might be something that slips between the cracks, but I did try to make it the most extensive. So as we're cleaning out this room right now, not too many suspects left. There was a guy floating on the ceiling, which was funny. Or at least above. I don't know who he represents particularly. Maybe a spider that falls. Well, Smelter Warrior almost underhands me into the stratosphere. Oh my god. Good thing we didn't get swiped on that one. And now we have some items to collect. And this guy to take out finally. He's just chilling on the spot, though. I don't think he's going to advance. Oh, very slowly but surely. No block, though. Interesting. Easier than the one that was in the campsite. So we got some more Crimson Water. And Blossom Kite Shield's great because it does the same thing as Insolent Shield. Though this is where I'm not knowledgeable enough. They both affect stamina recovery. Which one is better? I'm just going with the one that's lighter for now, but I'm not sure if the Blossom Kite Shield, in fact, does better stamina recovery per second. It might even be the same. Took out the guy with the pickaxe in the closet on the right-hand side, and he gave me Soul, the pursuer that he was guarding. And then we just got this guy guarding nothing, sitting in the corner at the wall. He was probably on a timeout from his mommy. Well, that didn't work out too well for him. Too bad he was born in Scholar of the First Sin modded. Now we're in a little bit of a predicament because this area has a lot of spiders, a lot of enemies. I can't see much of what's going on here, and I don't want to use a torch and forego having the shield for stamina recovery in case I got to make a break for it. As I'm debating that, Smelter Warrior spawns in on the top rope. Oh god, this is going to be a WWE moment of all time, and I'm trying to use the pillar to try to separate. I'm thinking it's working decently to kind of just scoot around him. Get the bow out. I'm just thinking, I panic and I shoot an arrow that misses. He combos me with the lava through the pillar into his slam, and he almost kills me. Magic Pixel. Okay, so now, even though I use a regular life gem, I'm not going to heal up that quickly. I can't take too much fall damage as I'm doing this, so luckily we have the cat boots going. And this is probably what's saving me from that Magic Pixel being taken by fall damage. I missed the Desert Sorceress, but as I hit her, Pike's at risk of breaking. So I'm out of there completely. Somehow dodge this gigantic ball of shadow, and then I take the ulterior route around the pillar here. Almost get denied at the fog, but we make it. So that was a really scary room right there. Where are we now? Grave of Saints. Okay. So this would be leaving the Royal Rat Vanguard fight. Yes, it's leaving Royal Rat Vanguard. It's the grave entrance. And right after that, we have another fog as well. See, there's so many more fog gates than normal here. And now we're at Forest of Fallen Giants. So we have access to that statue later. It's something I might come back for, I might not. The memories are going to be important later if we get into a situation, which we'll talk about when we do. But for now, we can go to Bastille, and it actually does take us there when we go to the Crow's Nest, or the... Sorry, in this game it would be like a hawk, I guess. Tony Hawk flies us over. as he does his 900. Got the Ruin Armor +1, which is also a great set, but still not comparable to Charred Lois set that we got right away. Got the Priest stuff right there. We're completing that set slowly but surely, and it's one of my favorite as of late in this game. It's also one of my favorite as of long time in PvP, because, again, light but great elemental defenses, and it looks really cool. Fragrant Branch of Yore as normal is in the chest because it is, in fact, a key item. And this Acolyte was pissing me off. I was trying to warp out here. Look at this. Duh. Dude, he does so much damage because he replaces the Pursuer as a mini boss fight, too. I got tired of it. I was like, you know what? I could just keep Homeward Boning, put it on the slot. I healed up, and I'm like, maybe I could just fight him. You know what? Once in a while, you guys want to see some side action, right? So we're going on a side quest. The first one of many. I'm going to Toxic Mist him and see if it works. We haven't been using that a lot. He slaps me with the back of his shield as if he's just swatting me like a fly, taking away 30 years off my lifespan in total. But luckily, even as he guards, it's not enough to save him. The jump attack comes in handy here. Jump attacks are so underrated. No one ever expects them. Now, I will say one of the most crippling things in PvP getting hit by a jump attack. It's so sad. Oh, I hate it. They come out of nowhere. Just like that explosion to the ghost, but I think it meant a little bit more to him than it did to us, because he got knocked over for good. I think he needs life alert, guys. He didn't just fall. He got exploded and he can't get up. Help. Help. Somebody. Oh my god, I broke my weapon. Okay. Well, yeah, we're definitely not going to keep jumping on him because that's just not fair. I mean, that's kind of rude. Pay the respects while he lays there till he dies, and, you know, I guess we got to go repair our weapon now. So we got some Monastery Charms, extra healing items that are extra slow. Though, again, in regular encounters throughout the field enemies, you could say, regular area enemies, it might be good in sparing moments. Southern Ritual Band +2 is great. Killed the Mastodon for a Bleed Stone. Probably never going to use that. And now we got the barrel. Will it explode? That's great. It doesn't matter, though, because we did have fire arrows, and it was a good barrel encounter. It didn't, like, you know, just go into the corner or anything. But we have this guy with the barrel, too. Can I blow him up? Doesn't work, does it? That's crazy. His barrel's invisible, and it blew up the one in the background. So I'm just really confused at this point. It doesn't have a hitbox on it for some reason, even though every single other one of those enemies had a barrel that could blow up. And I'm thinking the reason why is he's not activated yet. His AI is actually kind of just like the equivalent of T-posing if you've played other randomizers. He's just loading in and chilling there until he's activated. So we got some amazing loot opportunities here with the Room of Chests. Amazing. And we got some Titanite in here too. Both large and regular will help with upgrading that pike. Holy Water Urns, Lightning, nice. And now for McDuff, he looks kind of sad. It's on brand too, because normally he's already just a mess. This time he gave up on swinging altogether and he's just crying. So we gave him the Ember to make him a little happier. Got the Umbral Dagger that's S in Dexterity. Got the 130 crit, pretty cool. Don't think we're going to use it though, because we already have daggers. If we want crits, you know, there's other options too. So magic bolts don't matter too much. His inventory's looking pretty lackluster at the moment, other than the Silky Stones. But look at that. On the last page, we find Warmth and Sacred Oath nonetheless. Sacred Oath is one of the best spells in the game, and Warmth will actually help in this particular run because we have the Pyromancy Flame already, and I do have Attunement. That means we can use it, and it'll be basically like trying to cheat around using life gems or other types of healing items that are fleeting with an infinite source as long as we keep replenishing it at the bonfire. It might even actually help in some boss fights. We'll see. I'll try to squeeze it in. And that Dark Bellkeeper bow, I'm looking at that, trying to eyeball if I want to upgrade it. First, the pike, I think, is the initial order of business here. So we got a little bit of upgrades on that one. I have enough for both to get to +3. And now we're thinking, do we want large shards on just one weapon? Makes sense that the pike would be the strongest as it's the one carrying the run right now. And that last residual shard of the 7 goes on the bow. Yogurt Spear gets to +2 with the Petrified that we already collected. And I can always buy more Petrified, as you remember from Mullen, who we go back to get another round of arrows. Just debating how many. 111. Lucky number. And to the bonfire over, or sorry, the fog gate over where, I guess it would be Falcon was. Yeah, he says leave me alone. We still don't have enough to really do much from him, so we're going to go back to this guy, and we're going to use the Fragrant Branch of Yore. Oh man, I wonder how it would feel after being like a statue for that many years and then just animating. All your joints coming to life, being all lubricated. Forest of Fallen Giants and Skeleton Lord. Oh my. Eat some farts. Farts in a can. I don't think he actually cares because he doesn't have a nasal system. He's literally a skeleton. He can't smell anything. There's no lungs in there. The airflow is non-existent. He's literally just like, I don't know, just nothing. He's an inanimate object that's possessed by the will of another evil kind. That's probably remote controlling him, just like Miyazaki does to the enemies when he tries to ruin all the damageless runs, right? So immediately on the tactical level of a genius, I'm like, hey, I move him 3 paces to the left, then I go 5 paces forward and shoot 3 times, he's dead. Didn't work out too well. Yeah, that shootout did not go as planned. I'm really trying to get him with the ballista over here. He's going into the corner like he did on the other randomizer run I did. He really likes that corner. I don't know why. I have no idea. Maybe it's his spot. He just, you know, it's like recess every single day when you're on the playground as a kid. You just go to the same spot. You got the sandbox kids, the jungle gym kids. You got the kids that hang out on the brick wall and play red butt with the Indian rubber ball or whatever. You got people playing soccer. You know, like it's just there's the clickiness of it. And he likes that wall. I think he would be kind of like an emo, to be fair, hanging out on the brick wall listening to his iPod. Probably My Chemical Romance, which is one of my favorite artists anyway, so don't blame him. And as he's trying to bob and weave his way out of my pike, eventually I just realize how much the damage is, and the sheer damage alone makes me enticed to try to hit him off the edge before it kills him, because I don't want to kill him that easily. And he tries to assist himself jumping off the edge, but it doesn't work. So it is a pure damage kill, unfortunately. Kind of a shameful fight, but life ring +3. Nothing bad about that at all, dude. Life ring +3 is one of the best items we can get in the entire game. I'll take it right now. Let's go. Character looking beautiful too. Dark Chasm of Old. Interesting. Well, oh, that just took us right back out of the chasm. So we just go right into the end of a chasm and then appear, oh, in Shaded Woods. Okay. So I guess I wonder if the chasms can only correspond to where you'd load into them, but they're still shuffled as well as a smaller pool of areas. So there's 3 places you can go into chasms. That means that even if that one wasn't the original, which I can't remember right now, if that's the one that corresponds to Shaded Woods, does it bring you to the identical one or does it just bring you to one of the 3? Either or. You guys can let me know if I don't clue into that in the next encounter, if there is one. Got some life gems in the cave outside of where Ornifex would be usually with the Fang key, but we don't have the Fang key. So I just took those enemies out of pure destruction and chaos. Now we're going to see what's in Shaded Woods because we can actually just jump out of the area. Luckily, that cave does not bind us. We have access now to everything over here. And with the bonfire lit, I think the actual foggy forest is a must. Can check out what's in the Chloranthy ring chest over here. Nothing crazy. Titanite and moss. Wicked Eye Great Shield's interesting. I'm pretty sure that's the one that absorbs HP from enemies. Ooh, already at Vengarl we have Lion Mage Robe and Monastery Longshirt. Those are 2 of my favorite chest pieces in the game. If you guys didn't know, I really like the light armor that's, you know, I guess like ninja / samurai / assassin type. Especially like the religious looking ones, like, you know, like you're a Jedi in Star Wars or like some sort of priest or whatever. Like that's the coolest drip out of old times and fantasy that I could possibly want. I don't want big sets of armor. If I had to go into battle, I would not wear a set of iron armor or be like a super heavy duty knight. I would literally just be the dude on the ceiling, dropping down and slicing you up before you even know they're there. So yeah, that's on point with me. And I think on the female character too, like no matter the female character or the male character, the monastery shirt looks great for a couple different reasons. You know, you either look like literally a Jedi or just some like antiquated, dainty lass of some sort. I'm just gonna pop the soul for a conversion of greater souls that he gave me over here too, and buy even more large titanite as we're discussing fashion. And those silky stones exist in many merchants' inventories. I'm not gonna keep buying them to do trades though, because I do want to move through this pretty swiftly. I don't want to spend eons inside this randomizer because I'm already realizing at this point it could take so long to get this entire challenge done, let alone the video itself. So we have Egdane's robe on. Should we switch? Yeah, for the fashion's sake, we definitely have to. A little bit lighter too. What's over here at the end of the forest? We got Earthen Peak. Okay, this is cool because even though it's the blocked off bonfire, we can drop down. So we're not going to die if we drop back on the bridge, and that gives us access to the first bonfire and the other side of this wall we just spawned in simultaneously. So we have either fog gate from the one we came in on. That's not something that happens all the time, but you'll notice there's a lot of really interesting areas that are kind of like bigger puzzles unfolding where you can not only access the one side you popped in on, but the other side and many more through jumping off of something or doing a little bit of a skip. And there's many of that in this entirety of... This is an idea, has a lot of that. In Nashka's Gate, we got the Black Gulch. I was telling you guys, you might get sealed into your own tomb and be trapped. So I could piss off this guy, and I could try to fight him until he kills me if I didn't have Homeward Bones or use a Dark Sign. But I can't open that door. There's no key. You need the Forgotten Key in the well, and we don't have, you know, we don't have DLC stuff ready. I could get the... Oh, sorry, the Gulch Key was what you'd need. Yeah, the Gulch Key. So Forgotten Key in there. That guy falls over like the other ghosts, which is funny, so I just decided to run back to the bonfire over here. And as we go up the mannequin ladder where they drop down an ambush, nobody there. They're just chilling at the top. I don't think they could fit down. We got the Old Knight and the ghosts. And by the windmill over here in the corner, oof, we got the Archdrake Knight. I think I'm just going to make a break for the fog, even though I think lighting the windmill would have been a smart play, and killing those guys as normal enemies wouldn't be too hard at this point. So missed opportunity, because if I ever go into Mytha's Arena in this, the poison will be filled up to the top. So now we got Earthern Peak Bonfire 1. And we're going into the fog over here for Iron Passage. I had the other Iron Passage from the other fog gate, which is interesting. So now we're in a second Iron Passage that's in another side. I think it's when you potentially exit the area of some sort. It has the lift in here as well. So we have the one that has the bonfire set up for Smelter Demon's Fog Gate, and now we have the lift. Going up. Well, now we can get into Broom Tower lower level. Okay. And this would be still inactive because we don't have the Iron Scepter. Interesting. Well, let's check out what's over here. Oh my god, dude. All right, well, we are in the third DLC at the very end, but this is the best place you could possibly appear in the third DLC right away for one very obvious reason. So this cathedral gives you access to Elsana. Elsana gets rid of all the ice in the entire kingdom completely. That's blocking all of the points of interest that you need for the Lois Knights and also other areas, including the blizzard that puts out the torch for the garrison key when you try to light the torches. Crazy, man. So we have that right away. That, oh dude, ice looks so satisfying in this game. It makes me want to eat it. Anybody else weird like that? You just want to eat the ice cubes on the ground? It's because of the resolution too. It's like lower resolution ice. It's not super fancy looking. It just looks like a piece of candy or something. I don't know. Looks like a nice popsicle. So in Ivory King's Gate, we got Aldia's Keep. So this would be Guardian Dragon, and we're at Dark Lurker already. Interesting. He is completely just dormant, just chilling, inactive, and then we got to activate him on the door. So Guardian Dragon Dark Lurker has quite a bit of defense, it seems. I'm not hitting too much damage on him. The weapon's only at +6 right now still, but you know, I try my best. I get him to just below a quarter, and then yeah, that Forbidden Sun attack kind of sucks. You're gonna see why I hate it so much many times in this, unfortunately. Maybe not even on this fight. Oh, look, another one. Can we dodge it? This is on the second attempt when I got both of them activated, and I go for a cheeky heal right here in the distance. Boom, missile takes me out. That's why I don't play Call of Duty against teams that have Predator missiles that they save for later in the game, because it's going to make you even more mad than if they use them right away. All right, Fume Knight. Let's go. Round 2. We have the pike. We have some resin on it. This is going to be the big fight. We're actually hitting decent damage rather than just under 100 or whatever it was. You can see some big yellow chunks. That doesn't sound too appealing, but trust me, the fight's much better than it sounds. So over here, I think I'm demonstrating the most I can to basically matrix the shit out of everything he's doing. And it gets to the point where we get second phase on lock, and I activate it. He comes in for the slam. I take quite a bit of damage with that. And then on this thrust right here, I want to heal, but I use the Monastery Charm though. That's the one I was going to go for. So I'm like, okay, I can definitely have enough time if I back up first. No, of course not. You think you can heal on Fume Knight? Okay, let's try again. So I'm starting to get the rhythm of it. I know that Monastery Charm is a little laggy of a heal item, so I'm using the Estus instead. And I'm trying to space the attacks. I'm not rolling back then healing ever, because that seems to be a really big problem. Not only with the combination of medium roll and my stamina regen being so slow on equip load side of things, but just because the way he's made too. You'd have to run away from him really, really aggressively to maybe get around the whole Monastery Charm thing. Or just get lucky with spacing something, whether it's the height of it or, you know, more room on one side of his thrust, I don't know. So, very, very sparing attacks that we're dealing in this particular fight. And I remembered from you guys, every time you heal, he actually has his sword glow red shortly after, meaning that it prevents him from going into phase 2 right away. I don't know what the rule set is for this in full. Like, is he going to basically delay it until a certain point, but then if you activate it right before he's going to activate phase 2, does it work still, or does he just overwrite the ability to delay? I don't know. But we got him into phase 2 eventually. Took a while, but we did it. And the strategy in phase 2 is a little bit different here. You see I'm more confident with the spacing. I'm literally walking a step away from the tip of his sword in every single engagement I can. It's so close to the wire. I would say that this gave me good practice on Fume I've never really had before, because I was practicing this game to do 0 damage eventually with all bosses, took a break from it. And I'd say the stuff I was doing here in this fight was actually better than my average Fume Knight fight in that particular run, which is way more stacked. A character that reaches him probably at level 200 or something like that, or close. And you can even see the damage we're doing is nothing in comparison to what I'd be doing on something like that too. So this is making me pretty proud, at least. Hanging in there. Fume Knight, a lot of people will say, is the hardest fight in the game. I don't think he is, but I will say I have more respect for people when they say he's tricky now, because I used to think like I didn't understand that. I do now after doing the randomizer. This is probably more akin to how you would roll up on him, you know, in the level 50 to 60 range at minimum. A weapon that might not be fully upgraded, or maybe not ideal even if it is, not knowing the strategy fully, slowly learning it, making your own kind of flow to it. So I totally get it. And it seems like spacing's just so godly on him compared to any other fight in this game that it's not even just for the sake of speed. It actually can make it slower sometimes. It's purely just for stamina management's sake, because it's just so fast. Every time he does Chaos Orbs, I'm still rolling in case one touches me, of course. Many rounds of that ensue in this. And I'm trying to do it where, like, when I roll back in after dodging his jump-ins and all that, I try to get the roll attack delayed slightly so it still hits him on a good angle. There's just certain angles where it doesn't work that well, though. It's tricky. So you roll through this, and then you try to activate it as soon as you can if you're in line. But if you're not in line, you know, no chance. At least we got him, though. Victory dance right here. Oh, yeah. Prisoner Tatters +1. You know, I'm good. Don't think we're going to use those. But Elizabeth Mushroom, though, yummy. Oh, that's delicious, dude. I love Elizabeth mushrooms. Can't even speak, dude. That's how much I like them. Says Elizabeth Mushroom. I'm like in rewind right now. Well, that crown was pretty underwhelming. That was definitely not a crown, but we can level at least with the souls. So vigor, strength, dexterity. Should we do endurance too? Why not? Nice. Okay. Well, Bellkeeper Bow can be upgraded a little bit more, so +6 on that. And then back to Wellinger, we get more of the life gems, of course. We're going to need quite a few. Or should we? Should we? Am I debating? Only 6,000 souls. It's the only thing that makes sense. Life gems and Homeward Bones. I'm eyeballing Combustion, but dude, am I really going to use Fire Seeds to upgrade the Pyromancy Flame? No, of course. So I get the life gems. And we go to this bonus room outside Wellinger, nothing crazy. And I'm activating the other doors in Drenglake Castle. A lot of you might say, well, streamer, why didn't you upgrade the whole door system right away by opening all the doors? Or like, why am I not doing stuff all in order, you know? It just gives me some freedom. Makes me feel like I'm a human to make the decision to not necessarily open up all the doors in this room right away. And plus, we weren't as strong when we first got here, if you remember. So get off my butt. You know, just leave me alone. Although, hey, even though I'm saying that we're stronger now, it doesn't really mean much. Watch this. We get the second door open, and this Hyde Knight just has other ideas. He attacks me so fast that he breaks the time barrier and sound and light at the same time. It almost kills me before it even touches. I still want that item in that room too. But back to Dark Lurker. I'm speeding up the fight to show you guys exactly what goes down here, because it takes absolutely so long that it's mind-numbing. And I want to show you guys again in this run as many fights in full as I can, but this one was one of the longer ones. You're going to see me do a little bit of double speed here and there, but I won't overuse it, don't worry. So now we spawn in both of them, and this is really where it gets cooking. Goes for Dark Portal and Forbidden Sun together to cross over. We got Missile into flying with lasers, trying to hit them where they're basically turned away from me, and then they have to recorrect their position, possibly even poured out. So I get like a nice window for free Wisdom Stamina recovery after that. And anything that's a missile or a backhand laser sword that you space is free. You can attack and still have stamina, or attack twice and roll at the very least. Pretty damn good. Laser, whenever they go up for it, I always run right into them and then circle around very close, and they'll start missing for so long that even if you attack the other Dark Lurker, that laser from the initial one that you just swerved will not catch back up with you. Double laser is very similar, but you just got to be a little bit more patient till one falls. And AoEs get a little further away than you think you're going to need to, and you'll be good. That's the basis of Dark Lurker on this. Plain and simple, the farther you get away from them and the farther they get away from each other at the same time makes it the hardest fight you could possibly imagine. But if they're closer together and their attack timings are almost at the same time, it seems a lot easier to me. Obviously, they can't really do as many long-range attacks when you're close, but definitely won't stop them from doing laser point blank or missiles, you know. At least the missile will go over your head. Forbidden Sun's tracking also is very weird if you're standing still and healing and then you move, or you do something weird like an attack on the other Dark Lurker and then turn the opposite direction you were gonna head. Can definitely be quite buggy. So you're gonna see some scattered projectiles here. Starting to get a little bit sketched out on this one, because again, we do have healing items, but I think our regular Estus is gone at this point. Don't see regular life gems even queued up either. I don't think I put on the 30 that I bought from Wellinger yet. Come on, we can do this. And I think that you'll realize that even though we're doing double speed on this, if I made it regular timing, it really would be like we're here forever. Lots of patience, lots of steps we're getting in. We're getting that cardio in this fight for real, man. Guys trying to get that 10K steps a day, like, pff, try 100,000 in the last 2 seconds of the run. Man, the missile crossover there. It gives me flashbacks. It's like, I think that the real scary part for me is healing in general on this fight has the cost of them starting a projectile, and their projectiles are actually so fast that if you start it roughly just as they're doing theirs, it could be too late depending on the type of heal item. And there's so many different heal timers in this game. It makes it annoying for casual play or for certain types of people that want a challenge relative to the other games, but then it actually offers a whole nother variety of challenge and nuance for people that like details. So yeah, probably not useful for PvP unless you're playing casual invasions. Probably not useful for most intents and purposes, but really cool in something like this, that there's so many varieties of healing items and randomizers. And just like that, Dark Lurker goes down. Took a few years. Yeah, some extra Forbidden Suns and missiles. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, guys, one of them doesn't die. He just stays there infinitely, and then he becomes invincible, so there's nothing you can do but just run away. Ooh, okay, we're coming in on the backside of the Royal Campsite area. Flash Sweat and Bolt Stone. Those are actually better items. Not too bad for infusions. Bolt Stones could be useful. And Flash Sweat could be good for fire if we encounter anything that's crazy with fire. Dengarl blocking the doorway with Ricard's rapier and bleed serum in his pocket. Interesting. And then we see Red Sonic the Hedgehog, aka Knuckles, so we're getting out of there. I'm not even gonna try to go down the path that he's on. I'm just gonna drop off, and then we'll hit the Doors of Pharaoh's bonfire in the lower part over here. And I already see another fog gate, actually. Interesting that that one is also there, but I think we spawned in on the other side, which is the first archway of the other part of Doors of Pharaoh's authority side. We have attunement to level now, and as you can see, our slots increase from 1 to 2 if we go up to 13. Thinking dexterity, but I actually end up settling for vigor and attunement. Then back to Pharaoh's. What's over here? Skeleton Lord Cave after you kill them. Yep, okay. And then Harvest Valley Bridge. Well, that's decent, because then that opens up a lot of other stuff, and I don't think there's going to be a fog gate before we get into the interior of Harvest Valley. So some potentials here. Oh, wait, there is a fog gate right away. Interesting. Belfry Soul. That's above Iron Keep? Wait, what? I think? Yes. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I remember this area. I haven't been here for a long time. Okay, so we have the interior of Iron Keep with many fog gates immediately. This is already sending chills down my spine rewatching it. And when I was playing too, I was freaking out a bit because I'm like, there's so much variety now that remembering where we actually are and what we can do is starting to hurt my head. And I swear to you guys, I did not use a pen and paper or a spreadsheet to do this. This was just all pure memory. At the end, there was one point where I watched back to see where one particular area is, and I'm going to quote what it is once we get there, as long as I can remember that I mentioned this, which I will do my best to. I think it's the narrative of this runs fresh in my head, but just there's so much gameplay, almost 24 hours. So it's kind of like, yo, a lot to remember when it comes to entries and exits, as well as what we actually looted, what we didn't loot, because there's purpose stuff I did left, or purposefully left items, I should say. And there was stuff that I wanted to backtrack to that I saved for even areas as well, to a degree. So we got skeleton lords at the top of this first trapped off bonfire that was in Iron Keep, and what do you know? Goes as planned. Skeleton lords is crazy on randomizer. Everything is replaced with something that's worse, usually. Skeleton lords themselves are really easy. The skeletons themselves are easy. Everything in that fight is simple, so there's no way you're going to get an easier fight on any randomizer seed, no matter what. It's always going to be one of the hardest fights in the entire game, but also it'll always be harder than the original. It's pretty bad. If you're doing Deathless, that's going to be what ends your run on high chances than anything else. So we drop down. We see that door is still closed shut. That's underneath where we spawned in. Just outside of where that cutout is that we dip down into the bonfire at, that's blocked off. So this is on the non-blocked off part. We can go back into Iron Keep, but we can't access the door. That's the Smelter Demon bonfire. So we can just go outside, back into the Smelter Gate, all this stuff. So I'm taking note of that, but I am backtracking here. Now I could have gone and explored more, but we didn't even explore the interior fog gates thoroughly yet. So this is an example of where I'm kind of like putting a memory in my mind, and we'll see if we can remember later to come back here. Unfortunately, Shrek just flattens me, so pulling the lever to go back to the interior of Iron Keep again, and then we're gonna go down this ladder. And what do you know? We have a fog gate through brick, which is really weird. Very, very weird, man. Things betwixt. Okay. Yeah, that's a dead end, so let's check out this one. Belfry Luna. Ooh, gargoyle fight. The logic I have in the randomizer is to spawn in each enemy one at a time for gargoyles so that we don't have too much overwhelming gameplay when it comes to a very, very long onslaught of bosses. And the first enemy actually is a gargoyle, which is funny. I didn't expect that, but hey, sure. He shuffled to himself. And then we have the last giant. I was missing him. It's not the same starting this game and not seeing him for a long time. He goes down very quickly though, because again, the health of the gargoyles normally isn't super high. They're counted as like a early-ish game kind of boss. They're not too bad. Just annoying, just kind of silly. Skeleton Lord pops in. All right. And Looking Glass Knight comes in with his introduction that's normally from his arena too, which is really cool. I don't know what that fire was from up on the roof. You guys see those fireballs in the background? What was that? Oh, that's the effect when Skeleton Lord dies. My bad. Sorry, someone's gonna probably say that. That's his effect from dying. I thought it was an attack from an enemy up on a roof. Looking Glass Knight goes down. Not bad. Ooh. A close call. Got my eyebrow hairs taken off by that soul spear from Nashka. Buried in the ground. She always seems to pop up on randomizers in this fight. Looking Glass wasn't one that was as common for me from when I've done these. And I haven't done a lot. I've done like maybe, I think 3 or 4 now. But not with the fog, of course, and also some that weren't even completed. So Nashka goes down, nice. And that's it. The soul spear still releases, but it doesn't go for me. That's fine. Steel helm, eh. All right, what's over here? No way, dude. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay, so this is what I said, guys. If we don't burn the windmill, whatever is in Mytha's arena is covered in poison, so we get constant poison reticks over and over endlessly with no hope of getting rid of it other than just boosting resistance. So I use common fruit to up the poison resist a little bit, put a warmth down at the fog gate, and then I'm gonna pray. We go human because I want max health. But you know what? We're both seeing things correctly here. I'm about to fight Ava in pure poison. And my weapon just broke as soon as I swung at the character model that's not even activated yet. What a genius move. Back to the warmth to recollect my brain cells and what the plan's gonna be, and debating a weapon. You know, we got York Spear, we got bow. I could have the bow on just in case I gotta shoot him across the arena, but Ava's very, very mobile, so it's not gonna really work out to be that great. The arrow damage will be fleeting at best because the varying ranges, so Yogurt Spear seems like one of the better ones. We got a pretty good setup for armor on so far. Go with Egdane's kilt, I guess, instead of the boots. And then Shield of Insolent, doesn't matter really. No, Fume Sorcerer Gloves definitely have better defense, yeah, so we'll do that. And let's get a move on this. We're gonna have to be very fast. I might have to even put up another warmth too. What are we gonna do here? Oh my god. Okay, let's try to see if we can just at least beat the clock, because the damage of Ava, or the damage Ava should take, is close to what Mytha would take, obviously, so nothing crazy. But still, Ava has way more attacks, I would say even per second, than Mytha, and many more attack varieties, much more damage that it could do usually. So yeah, it's scaring me a little bit. All the AoEs, man, forcing the poison, forcing me off the doorstep of salvation over there. All right, we're in it for the long haul. We're just gonna pop life gems and race against the clock as our health is ticking down. This is very similar to Curse Bro run, which we did recently. Curse Bro is gonna be proud of our perseverance through the ever-ticking clock of health, as those missiles just take my face off there. So I think that the plan will be basically try to get back leg attacks like I do normally, but when the jump-ins happen across the arena and I have to heal, I am kind of pinned in a corner for longer than I want to, because I can't just jump straight to attacking at a quarter health, or the next engagement certainly will be death. So I just keep spamming the life gems. And I'm trying to get attack recoveries, trying to get counters as she jumps away. It's a bit of a mishmash. I'm actually even lucky that the spear's connecting too. It's kind of nice it's so big that the hitbox is a little bit more gracious to me. And with that follow-up attack, I do get some underneath the belly hits that tick multiple times, since Yorg's spear hits a crazy amount of attacks right after the first attack. Keep it together. Oh no. Okay, as long as health's over half, I'm feeling good. Oh, we got AoE. Get away, get away, get away. Another popping opportunity. We have 17 life gems left. The odds are looking okay. It's not like Ava's gonna heal or anything. This isn't King's Pets where we have Lud and Zalin, and I think it's Zalin that literally just goes crazy hyper mode and heals. Oh my god, okay, here, this might be the problem. Oh, get it away, get away, get away. Less than a quarter left healing. Not enough to survive the next swing. Ugh, iframes come in handy. Thank god. Popping twice. Still a race though, because poison's ticking and it's got to retick to meet requirements and activate again. We want to be making sure that the health is not low when the poison bar's actually ticking down, only when it's ticking up to activate. Wow, that was a juicy hit. 438. I love it. Get that kitty kneecap. Do cats have kneecaps? They have like the reverse thing, the reverse joints, right? Weird thing to think about, cat kneecaps. That just sounds weird. Oh my god, she picked me up for a second. And though we didn't go on a date, there certainly was a memory of all time to be made from our encounter there. Got guidance, which is actually ironic because this run literally has no guidance at all. That would be really helpful. Someone got a map? All right, what's next? So cave first, Shelva Sanctum City. Interesting. Oh, this takes us over where the bridge is that Sin burns up in flames, right? There's a window with an item here and a jump that is likely to succeed, but you could die. Okay, let's try. So you'd think I'd get a running jump, right? Nah, I just rolled and fell off because I thought it was like Dark Souls 1 for a second. My brain lapsed. Dark Souls 1, you certainly would make that, but we'll come back later. I make it back to this room with the Pharaoh's Lockstone. I'm going to activate it. And yes, that is the brick wall that I used before. But now if you hit it, there's an actual door. Is that another gate or is it the same thing? Let's see. No, it's another gate. Isn't that weird, guys? So I just used that thing Or maybe, again, maybe it was a different one. I'm pretty sure I used that wall before, though. Estus Shard in the courtyard of Eldia's is great. We're gonna get the bonfire. Estus Shard's actually nice because you don't find them that often in this, but unfortunately we don't have the King's Ring, so we can't get out of Eldia's. I go back to Iron Keep. There's this weird door hanging in the balance there that doesn't do anything. It's just the effect extended. And then I get this weird jump that gets canceled mid-long jump, and it shortens it perfectly to the stride I need to shoot out of the window onto that platform. So it ended up being a lot fancier than I thought it was going to be, and I find Covetous Silver Serpent 1. It's okay, it's a better upgrade than just the regular one. It'll do. Opening up the bonfire in the Inner Sanctum over here, of course, while I'm getting chased by ghosts that are not the Sanctum Knights, but ghosts of horsemen. Possibly a little scarier, because they're still really fast, and they actually attack even more times than Sanctum Knights. I honestly did have an easy time on them. They weren't that bad. I was able to wrangle them very, very smoothly. We got Dragonstone without anyone chasing me. Look at this. It's empty. Didn't even kill them. So Proud Knight Soul over there. Dragon Rider Bow. Pretty good. Now let's go into this room. It's so funny seeing a mushroom, a mummy, and then just some other random guy in this room when it's usually just all the knights. They're usually matching. The Cyan dunked himself. Nice. Eternal Sanctum key acquired as well. Titanite Shard, and that guy's definitely not getting me. Let's get out of here. Yeah, see, such an easier room on Randomizer for that one. Trap Chest has Flame Quartz Ring in it and Wrath of the Gods just outside of there. And now it's time for Lloyd's Sword Ring room. Can I make it through here? Oh my god, the mushroom blocking the stairs. No, everything's gonna break. Life Ring +3, so new. I don't want to let go of it. My beloved. Life Ring +3 breaking feels like losing a friend over something stupid. You guys being in a really stupid altercation of some sort, maybe them making a dumb decision. You're like, I can't talk to that person right now. It's not quite a relationship ender, like for romance. It's more of a friendship ender. God damn it. All right, Flynn's chest, please have something good. Please, 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 please. Lightning urns? Dude, I'm not gonna use those. That's actually stupid. Iron King Soul was at the bottom of the spiky area with the staircase in the pit. That's not bad. And then I got stuck in another pit that is completely of a different nature, where in this corner the horseman just spammed me to death against the warmth that was healing me. As I try to dodge his attacks, then he backsteps to tease me. And I'm like, well, maybe, nope. Nope, don't try. Just suffer. The more you wiggle, the more it squeezes, dude. It's just like that infamous trap. The quicksand. All right, we're in a dark chasm again at the end, so I just fall off because there's nothing else we can do. And now we appear in Dragonlight Castle underneath. So this is the Covenant leader here. We can buy some stuff from him. He's got some interesting items. The poison stones are probably the best, but I'm not going to get any of those right now because I already have poison arrows. Elium Lois drops from the crawly guy in the corner, which is amazing. He was replaced by a necromancer, and Elium Lois is just one of those weapons that looks so weird in this game. It's one of the weirdest looking weapons there is. Two swords that are kind of curved up, intertwined together, but just they don't look that good though. It doesn't look like a great weapon. Very weird. So as I enter the portal, I realize it literally is the normal portal you go into, meaning the Dark Lurker stuff's not really that randomized. I'm wondering at this point if the fight's even accessible through fog gates or if it's actually just through the chasms. So I start to try a little bit, and then Havel dummies me. He's not even swapped for a different enemy. He's just an NPC that's perpetually there, which is unfortunate because they're really hard, actually. So I'm going to let off on the chasms. I'm not too worried. They don't necessarily have an exit that goes anywhere. They'll just go to the same place I went in, because we already confirmed that. Doors of Pharos, opposite way from where we were. Oh my god. Guys, we found the end of the game. We did it. Throne Watcher and Defender, baby. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm excited about this a lot. I was super hyped when I got here. This is good. So I was saying in the beginning what the conditions were to beat the game. You need the throne, of course. And Throne Watcher and Defender is a great start. Nishandra right after, obviously, would be sealing the deal. I don't think Eldia is going to spawn because we haven't gone to Vendrick yet. Oh my god, that thrust even dodging it pushed me. That was weird. And yeah, I'm kind of frolicking around right here. I'm just like, well, you know, I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do. I'm just going to see if I can get them to fall off. It's the first round. Give me a break, and then I just, yeah, I fall off. Oh yeah, insult to injury. Dark Lurker laser. Just in case. Back at Iron Passage, I realized I had not gone and done the Blue Smelter Fog Gate yet, so let's go check out what that is. Ooh, okay, Royal Rat, Vanguard Arena, and we got Dark Lurker again. Dark Lurker is like, dude, I swear, if... I have a theory. I have a theory, guys. This is, just hear me out. This is a really cool theory, too. So, if you guys haven't seen the video of the player that got consumed by, or devoured by Dark Souls, the game itself, where he put up a playthrough and it glitches out in ways that, like, no one's really ever seen before, and then the game literally devours itself at the end, and Seath is like a shadow figure that basically, like, is a secret ending and glitch to the game in some weird twisted way. Sounds wild if you haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil too much. One of the best videos on Dark Souls I've ever seen in my life, if not the best video that exists for the game right now. Heavily recommend it. The player that got devoured by the game, search it up. I think Dark Lurker's the equivalent for this one, where he's the one that's secretly pulling the strings behind Dark Souls 2. Because think about it this way. The talisman he has is of light, and he's in the dark fighting the dark forces, but he uses the dark to harness it as a paladin, essentially. And he's kind of like noble like the player character, but also just like consumed in this chasm. And he's got angel wings. Like, it's... Dude, I feel like he's literally the one pulling the strings. And, you know, we took him out here. It wasn't too bad. Got great magic weapon, but of course there's still going to be multiple Dark Lurkers chasing us perpetually, maybe solidifying he is the creator. I don't know. Okay, now we're in the memory of the Giant Lord, despite the theories I had right there. Interesting. It's just the end of Giant Lord, so we get the Soul of the Giant. Get out of there. And yeah, it takes us back to this area at least, but we can't really re-enter the regular memory. So that's whatever. We can go down here into the courtyard though. That's just along where the Cardinal Tower is, and there's a fragrant branch of yore right there, of course. So items to loot down here. We can climb up the ladder, of course, and go back to where the hole in the wall is. Okay, so this goes back into where normal Cardinal Tower meets up. And that's so nice because this area has so many other potential opportunities for fog gates and other shenanigans. Malentia, of course, too. Leningrass Key's great. We haven't been able to open them up the whole time we've been doing this. We got some healing items that look juicy as well, and some more large shards. I'm going to get that old Radiant Life Gem and go upstairs. Oh my god, Robe of Judgment, dude. Yes, Robe of Judgment's pretty baller. And the Hexer Boots. Hexer Boots is one of my favorite pieces of armor too. It's so light, but so good for defense. It's almost game breaking on that level. I use it for PvP builds all the time. I've used it probably the most out of any leg piece in the game for PvP duels. Even like recently when I made a PvP video you haven't seen yet. So light armor with heavy defenses, especially elemental, is the play. We can move a little bit quicker. We can use heavier weapons. And then because we're at a disadvantage with equip load already, despite having Royal Soldier Ring +2, we don't have to worry about aggressively leveling Vitality to not be fat rolling. So this is beautiful. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go Robe of Judgment? Oh yeah, dude, we're looking like Batman now. This is cool. Sanctum Princess Tiara, do we go with that? That looks kind of cool too, but we can't meet requirements. No, Batman, definitely. Batman vibes against the world, man. Estus Flash Shard was behind the bookcase on the exit that goes back to the outer courtyard that we already pillaged completely earlier. So we're just inside this little tree root system, and we're gonna see what's on the other side of that fog gate too. What could be over there? Chug up just in case. All right, we're going in. I don't actually know what this is. Oh, that's weird. Okay, it's very, dude, GeoGuessr vibes. I rarely don't have a loss for where I am. Got Lizard Staff. We got some Bone Dust too, and Moonlight Butterfly Wings, pretty sick. Well, that was definitely the pathway back from Wharf, obviously. I realized once I went to the lift and everything. And we got Defender at the end of here, who swung himself off the ledge. But he doesn't die, though. Why isn't he dying? Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I know. Wait for it. Oh my god, that's so funny, dude. You have to trigger the fight. He's just waiting to die, and then you hit the trigger and he dies. Isn't that hilarious? Well, we can check out this side too. Grave of Saints, but where in Grave of Saints particularly? Is this the entrance on the other side of where the well would be? It is, yeah. All right, we're going up, and we're gonna see what's on the other side of the other fog gate. That's the intersection of the outer arena and the doorway where Roy the Explorer spawns in. But no Roy this time, of course. Oh, okay, we're trapped in this room right here. Are we trapped though? We might not be. No, these are one of the hidden rooms. One of the many hidden rooms in Bastille in the Rune Sentinel fight. What's in this chest? I can't remember what normally would be here. A lone great bow is pretty good. And for this wall, oh, it opens. So yeah, we definitely aren't trapped. That's good. This is something that like is a huge moment in the playthrough that I actually don't take advantage of fully yet. I think I can survive falling down there. And if you guys remember, there's a lot of hidden doors down there too. And if they have fog gates like this one did, this is before I realized it while playing, of course, but there should be a lot more access to doors down here, making this the most fog gate dense area with the least amount of square feet in the entire game, if I remember correctly. So this should be a really big thing for progression, but for now we're just going to go to the other upper door I jumped across the platform to, and it's Aldia's Keep. Do I want to go here? Nah, no, not yet. I'll save it. Okay, so we're going to come back out to the second platform level. We'll go down to the interior fog gate that's outside the arena here. Not on the inside, but the outside. And I think I could have dropped down, to be fair. Dragon Sanctum. Do you want to do that? Nah. Not yet. Back to Aldia's Keep. Ah, Dragon Slayer Spear. Ornstein's been hiding his weapon under the table the whole time, dude. I wonder how often he goes to Aldia's Keep. I wonder if he plays poker with Aldia. Probably leaves the weapon under the table just for safekeeping. Well, we got the secret bonfire. And we're going to turn in some more Estus Shardage. That sounds really gross, actually. Shardage. That's not even a bad word. It just sounds weird. Sublime Bone Dust in the fire, of course, for strength Estus. Estus gives strength. Oh, yeah. Dragon Rider Gauntlets inside of Leningrad shop. And then he also has a Soul of Brave Warrior for 5,260. That'll pop for more, so I'm going to convert that to a better one. We got Vitality upgraded too. And Petrified Dragon Bone from Malin. Let's go. All right. You can see I already died here. It was embarrassing. We can skip the details. I'm just going to go run back, get my soul. And out of Aldia's Keep we go to see what's behind the Guardian Dragon. Broom Tower. Fog Exit from Fume Knight. So I do have a Smelter Wedge, a single one. I was saying they'd be important earlier. Well, at least I got one. So Crystal Soul Spear in return, not too bad. And the Wilted Dusk Herb I can actually use for spells. This guy over here at the top gives me the Monastery Skirt, giving me more pieces of the Painting Guardian set. And then we got the Old Witch Soul, which is huge. Actually, that's the one that you get from Lost Sinner on New Game Plus, which is pretty big. Oh. Oops. Okay, let's try that again. No running. Oh my god, are you kidding me? He actually killed me? Preposterous. But you can see that door I was running to right there. It's actually hard shut. You can't open it. There's no lever, so I'm not going to go back there. I'm pretty sure we can only get it as a shortcut from the interior, and it means no progress at all if that area is a closed loop. There's no fog gate on the other side, because you do have to fall through the floor if you remember on that other section, so I think it's a dead end. We got the Dragonstone, though, as the Stony Horseman chases me. Mundane Ice Rapier is a great pickup on the way back to link up the first bonfire, of course. And that's pretty cool, too, because now this opens up the DLC from the beginning of it. So while we're still on the note of going and doing the Dragonstone, I'm going to go to Sanctum Interior and drop down with Cat Boots. And, of course, we got to get the Hidden Bonfire before Alana Squalid Queen, just so I have that for later, too. Probably won't be useful since I'm going to go through this area now and check what her gate is. But never hurts just in case we die on the way down from something stupid. Oh. Okay, that's taken us to the inside of where you enter the DLC, but then I don't have the Dragon Talons, so the door's closed, but that doesn't matter anyways, because there probably isn't a fog gate over there. Weird. Let's check out what's on the other side of the gate we just came out of, because we just went back to the first bonfire. This is the other side of it. I forgot that was even a thing. I didn't know that was a thing because it's not in the game, so I wouldn't even know to check. And now we're in another Chasm of Old. I think I was thinking Dark Lurker could be in here, so let's just get prepared. Better to be prepared just in case. I don't think you can fall into Dark Lurker's fight by doing that, though. It's just going to keep bringing you out of each chasm because they're not lit with the torch. Now, them being lit with the torch may bring you to Dark Lurker, but I can't even confirm that either. I really don't know how the rules of this works. Just like I didn't know that guy was going to almost blow my face off completely. Oh my god. That was lucky, actually, just as the thing was going up, too. All right. Well, we still have the Eternal Sanctum key to use to get to Gang Squad Arena. That could offer some more Explorer things we can do. You know, I felt like it was a good idea to light these torches over here. The vibe is cozy. I never do stuff like this in video games, guys. I don't take seconds to appreciate anything really at all when it comes to that shit. That you can see the torches lit from the bonfire. That's cool. Okay, now we go over here. That's Shoebox Prison. And there's no way to escape this one. This is Ruined Sentinel Prison number 3 or something like that. Back to Skeleton Lords. Maybe this time it'll work. Well, I got kind of far in it, and as you can see, there's quite a few varieties of enemies that are just deciding to pile on as Scorpion S delivers the final blow. That was the second attempt right there. And back to what was the Frigid Outskirts Shoebox Prison as well. Just want to see if anything changed there. I don't think it does. Just because the blizzard was taken away, it shouldn't do anything. Frigid Outskirts is disconnected from the main map, but now we're going to take a serious attempt on Skeleton Lords. Starting off with some poison on Flexile Sentry. Didn't work yet, so another Toxic Mist right in his face as he cancels it. Can I get this? Oh, he took a couple seconds to turn around and then switched back his sides, which allowed me to get that activation. Royal Rat Vanguard is replacing another Skeleton Lord chasing around on foot as well. You can barely see him on the floor over there, but there he is. And then we got Scorpioness Snashka as well. I think she's going to be the hardest to take out of anybody. So let's get some damage on her, get a head start, maybe make her a body blockade so they can't get to me. And it's working. It's definitely working. Enemies are spawning in, but it is blocking. Oh, it looks like there's a congregation. Oh my god. And we got boars as well. We got Archdrake Knights. There's a variety. Well, at this point, I thought it'd be a good idea to go double speed again because so much stuff happens and it's a long time of running around in circles trying to take out all these enemies. So we got the boars charging around the corners. We got congregation sniping, which probably would be of interest to take out pretty quickly because they're going to get me with projectiles. Chipping away the Ashen Warrior, taking down a Mastodon. There's still one more left though. Luckily the boar finally goes down. And now we're just making that same loop outside the mounds of bodies. And Smelter Red comes in with Vengarl trailing close behind too, taking down almost all the health. At least I got one congregation gone. Still another one sniping, use the Crimson Water, and then just barely escape. Smelter's able to hit through these piles as well. You can see his hammer goes right through. There's a second one. That's Red jumping Michael Jordan. My god, he does another. Oh, this is getting scary. I was terrified doing this one. It was bad. It was really bad. Okay, so Vengarl finally down. The more you chop down enemies on this when they're a variety, the better, because it just greatly reduces the chances of you swinging one time at anything and then other enemies perpetually swinging through their body and you not seeing what the attack is. So it's like high chance of survival each time you take one down. And with the mushroom going out last, feeling pretty good. We can loot all these items, but there's nothing of interest over here that was that good, to be fair. It was lackluster items. I mean, you know, we got Smelter Hammer, which is really cool, but we're probably never going to be able to use it on this playthrough. It's very high requirement for strength at 70, I believe. Another Ricard's Rapier and Bleeding Serum combo. Why do they keep coming in bundles? Is this like the starter kit for Bleed? Dark Pyromancy Flame we already have, which normally would be cool. And another Ricard's Bleeding package. Nice. All right, exit the arena. Ooh, Sinner's Rise. Okay, that's good. So more fog gates to work with. We can't jump off the balcony over here to go to the front one, unfortunately, but we can go down to Sinner. So first, let's get some more Wellinger life gems, and then we're striding through the water. Rusted gauntlets. That makes sense that the Mastodon's gauntlets would be rustier in water. Old Radiant life gems, great. And I think that the Flexile that's normally down here was switched for some very, very twinky enemy. Nothing crazy. That door's locked and we can't light the fires in case we find Cinder's Arena, but we made it to the crypt, guys. We made it to the crypt. All right, so let's link the shortcut here. And we're doing crypt backwards. We're not going to go into the bonus room that we fall down into after the Reeves and Orma Great Shield guys. We'll just go through this one right here. What is this? Grave of Saints? Oh, this is the entrance to Grave of Saints. Okay, I wasn't sure at first. Yeah, that was okay. Interesting. And look, it's a giant rat's mouth. That reminds me of Gruntilda's cave from Banjo-Kazooie. They went with the same style. It's pretty cool, actually. A little scary. If I was a kid, I'd be terrified of that, actually. Oh. Okay, you can just go to Dark Lurker through fog gates, apparently. And isn't it ironic? We literally were just talking about how we entered a giant rat's mouth. Dude. How is Dark Lurker a rat when we just entered a rat's mouth? That's so on point. There was one other really crazy thing that happened during this run, and I don't know if you guys believe in synchronicities in life, or miracles, or really weird things happening that are just so improbable mathematically that it blows your mind. There is one that was so wild that I actually just stopped playing the game for an absurd amount of time, and I even left the footage in to show you just me freezing for a moment. And by a moment, I mean a very long time. It was ridiculous. So I'll talk about that when we get to that bridge. We'll cross it. For now, we're just farting on the rat. You know, he's a little bit stinky anyways. You can see the BO trails coming off of all the pits, but the toxic mist still works on him for some reason. So as that's ticking down, I'm going to buff up with fire. And oh my god, the damage is crazy. You'd think it would be a lot less because of Dark Lurker, but I guess maybe somehow he overrides the scaling to a degree. I don't know how that even works. But yeah, we could just spin to win. We're just playing around at this point, just Beyblading him to death. He's just going to keep repeatedly activating poison on me anyways. Nothing crazy is going to happen from this. So I'm pretty safe. And with the final thrust for his life failing, we get him. Gotta do Covetous Silver Serpent, but he gives me Covetous Silver Serpent +2 as well. And we can't go anywhere from there. That's a dead end, so Vigor it is. Back to the crypts. Oh, yo, Eggdane, what's up, man? Oh, the enemies activate, never mind. Out of there. More enemies. Looks like somebody's blocking the door. I don't want to be blocked in a corner before I can even see what's blocking the door. And I'm bleeding, but there's an arrow in my bum. Okay, that's just very sad, man. I couldn't even get to the door. Now I did. Oh, Drake Keeper. Get the hell out of there. Doing some loops. Of course, this time I can somehow escape. In even more unlikely circumstances. But will the sandwiching ensue? It does. Archway and a skeleton in a dream. Wow. Very sad. Okay, now we're back in this room before the previous. And yeah, that happened. So I'm just going to take them all out with arrows. I realize that they're replaced by, or sorry, replacing basic hollows that have no health. The ones with torches and the ones that just kind of linger around with dark infused swords or whatever. Yeah, they're not that hard to kill, so. Only guy that really means business is the guy that replaces the Orma and Reeve's Great Shield giant over here. I mean, you call him Orma or Reeve, but hold the Keanu because there's no matrix happening there at all. He was stuck in the door. And now we're back at the entrance to what the crypt would normally be, going out to Shrine of Amana. And look at that, we get the King's Passage, which is kind of ironic because it's the lead up to Shrine of Amana. So lots of irony in the way that the transitions work in this map logic overall. Armor of Horus and life gems. Okay, let's take the lift down. And Inner Amana, let's see. Oh my god. This was something I was not happy about. So Dark Lurker in Fume Knight Arena, but we don't have Smelter Wedges to take out the idols, so he can heal himself if he backs into corners. And he killed me right away with Forbidden Sun again. That's bullshit. What's new? So back to Throne Watcher and Defender, aka Smelter Demon and Dark Lurker number 14 million on this run. Now, if I kill them, again, my theory is we could beat the game. But not like that, though. Okay, we're going back again. I'm going to keep trying and see if I can get a strategy. We're using Toxic to try to take out Smelter Demon because he is susceptible to poison. It's the basic one, too, so he's a little bit easier than Blue Smelter Demon. And then they combo me with that. All right, I'm getting serious now. So we're starting off with some poison arrows as the main strategy. Just chuck a few at him right away. I missed that one free aim right there in the corner as the game's lock-on failed me. Trust me, it was the system. All right, probably gonna need one more to activate, but it's got to be quick though. So let's see if we can target. Beautiful. Yep, there's that 15 tick. And as Dark Lurker goes up for a laser, I know that we can switch up what we're doing here. Get the soul back if I need to. Not that there's anything on it. I died a little bit too much. So he's buffing up. As soon as he buffs up, Toxic Mist most definitely is gonna guarantee to activate again. And then Toxic Mist does tick down more than what the poison arrows seem to for the total duration, meaning that it'll get him down into his other transition right there and past it. So now all we need to do in the final transition of his phase is, as he's recovering, line up some more poison arrow shots. And Dark Lurker's in his background over here, living his best life with the gates. He's trying to basically make sure that he is not spamming too many projectiles, especially Forbidden Suns, but Laser is the most forgiving when it comes to trying to line up shots with Smelter, because he has to land after as well, and we could bait plunges from Smelter if we wanted to, or thrusts like this. So pivot thrust, shoot him with another arrow, go on the right side. It's more dominant since Lurker wasn't cutting us off. Only left side escapes if Lurker has the chance to be trailing us with a projectile queued up, or he's blocking that path. It's pretty much the logic, and we're just running clockwise the whole time, otherwise when we're just kind of like in our free form moments here. And so you can see Smelter as defender is almost dead. Popping in their life gem, trying to get a bit more damage on him. I'm gonna take out the weapon at this point. I think it makes more sense to do that. We can finish him off. Goodbye. And yeah, I'll take that little orb from Dark Lurker. No big deal. It's all good. Oh, juicy damage on Lurker. Not bad. So again, every time he goes for backhand, pivot underneath. Very simple. He does so many of these that the counter hits are abundant, man. It's simple. That's going to be AoE. So the startup on that looks similar when he does Forbidden Sun Gate. But just if you don't see a gate right away, get the hell out of there. I think that gate is an abbreviation that can teach us more than one lesson here. Going always to exterminate. You know, pretty easy. So now he's calling the exterminator again, this time in the form of the Shadow Realm. Ping pong style, backs into the wall. It gets me. He's so close to the warmth, I'm kind of worried about him healing now, actually. This is kind of bad. If he splits in that, that's going to be bad. Both will be healing. And he does, in fact, get some health from my warmth, so this is fair play in terms of the rules, but I want to play against the rules because I'm disadvantaged in this entire playthrough. I mean, he can have a moment where he gets screwed over once for my playthrough's sake, right? AoE, you got a warp and then back into warmth where, again, the healing is ticking on them. It's just a race against the clock now, but I see that if I chop him down when the heal actually ticks, seems like it doesn't go back up fully. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm realizing I think his clone doesn't actually heal. That's pretty cool. Yeah, his clone's getting... Oh, I didn't even know that while I was playing, actually. So one Dark Lurker is getting health back, but it's not going up on the bar. It's only if the main one that spawned in when we started the fight gets the health. And this is another thing that I noticed that goes really hand in hand with the fact that there's a weird quirk with the Dark Lurker that's in the room for Fume Knight that I realized later. So you'll see that at one point. But it makes it a lot harder, though. This one actually grants us a bit of favorable odds. The other one takes away a lot of the chances we have to win. So just as much as that's cool, it can be a bad feature too, where certain properties work on one Lurker and not on the other. In the regular playthrough, I think that's a little different, but it stands to be tested. I have not actually tested that yet. Someone else might, so let me know in the comments if regular Dark Lurker's clone can't actually get his full health back up from using warmth. We got an Estus shard for winning, which is an amazing prize for Throne Watcher Defender. I'll take that over the regular souls that they give you any day. And he's still alive perpetually. Infinite Dark Lurker looms in the vicinity once again. I'm kind of wondering if I were to just leave the fight, would he disappear or would he still be there? I think he would disappear. Nishandra obviously doesn't queue up. I was thinking maybe that replaces Nishandra at first, but as we saw before, Lurker does stay behind quite a bit. So probably time to leave. Let's go back out. Back to this Lurker. And this one's going to be a little bit harder, obviously. He's got a lot more health. He's got the Fume Knight health bar. So, it's a very similar strategy. Nothing much to talk about over here. Lots of spacing, lots of opportunities to get counter hits. And the main goal is mainly to chip him down as much as you can till he splits, because he splits earlier than you want him to on this, I notice. We also, add in a stagger right before the split on this attempt, and that's beautiful. So there was that key detail I said that the clone does weird on this that doesn't seem to happen on the regular game at all. And a lot of the attempts before this one, I was hitting the clone after he split, and I noticed nothing was happening. There's no damage. So in this Randomizer particularly, with however anything's set up, and I don't know if mine glitched at this moment or it's for this arena or a special feature, he literally doesn't take damage. You just saw right there. I tried. It's only if you hit the main one, so I have to actually pay attention to which one's the real one to be able to kill Dark Lurker. Normally you can hit either. So it actually adds more difficulty, because now when they're porting away and they're doing a bunch of other stuff, I'm running around, I have a hard time keeping track of them more than any other boss that's a double fight that I've actually done in recollection. And it was a cool feature, but really frustrating at first, because I thought the game was glitching and was certain that that's not why I wasn't able to do damage, because this is just not something that happens, right? That was what I was left to ponder. And after about 15 minutes of thinking about it, I was like, okay, yeah, like, it's got to be that one of them just glitches and the other one doesn't, because eventually I was like, you know, sometimes I'm hitting them and it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, we got to keep it together. No Forbidden Sun's killing me this time. And as you see again, boom, you see the hit confirmation, you hear it. No health on that one though. So now I know that the real one's on the right side again. At least so I think. So he should be doing the laser right now. So I'm waiting for him to land after the second one does their laser. We got the right target. Let's see. Yes, we do. And that was a good opportunity to do 2 hits, but I didn't want to get greedy. Anytime double laser happens slightly offset and there's a landing following it, even if they do portals right away, it would have to be Forbidden Sun portal, and it would have to be from both of them to not get the double hit in and then sneak away. You can even start to pre-roll and already have the tracking of Forbidden Sun miss you if you do 2 swings upon double lasers landing. It's perfectly fine. You can even hit him in the air as he's still floating down. But like you see right there, I pre-rolled a little bit, last second escape, and we still got most of those Forbidden Suns. One single orb's not going to kill you if they're offset and porting as well. A little bit of a jump in there to dodge. That's always a nice thing to do. Something that I don't really do as often in the other Souls games, but in this one, jumping away from things really helps, because projectiles and tracking as well as hitboxes are not as kind to you. Aldia is a great boss for constantly jumping from projectiles when he does the big one. Dark Lurker, Demon of Song. The list goes on. There's quite a few, actually. And even if you didn't have a lot of iframes, I'm sure even like the beam from Pursuer would be applicable. All right, we're getting there. Come on. Give me a landing. I'll go for 2. Oh, we're rolling. Oh, he gets me on the ankles. Do I go greedy? I could probably hit him twice and kill him. Yes! We go so greedy. So stupidly greedy, but I win there, dude. I can't even believe the Forbidden Sun didn't track better, because I think it's because I swung forward after, or maybe the second swing made it track weird. Oh, I feel like I should have died there. That was good. All right, we come out of the arena board in Cathedral of the Blue on the backside of Ornstein. This isn't great because it is a dead end, unless there's going to be a fog gate separating the bonfire, which would make no sense, because that would be a trap that's unnecessary, that doesn't even represent a hidden wall or anything. So I don't think that logic checks out. So we get some more effigies, and yeah, just the bonfire room. Vigor seems like a good idea. Let's pump that up. Ooh. All right, Cardinal Tower. We didn't go outside yet and check too many things. So I took your guys' advice. I lined my foot up, 3rd tile line, just on the 3rd tile, just a little bit in between, I guess, the 2nd and 3rd, and then use the firebomb, and it blew up the wall first try. So whoever commented that in previous videos of DS2, you are awesome. You're you're cool. You made it possible. Didn't even have to practice. All right, so first Cardinal Tower gate goes to Broom Tower, but this is a bonfire we actually haven't hit yet, so it's not like it's redundant or anything. Takes us to outside, and on the back side of this door, we'd have to open from the other side anyways, the pull lever, so that actually becomes a dead end, unfortunately. Let's check gate number 2, down the tree roots, across the little conjunction where you'd usually find Cartographer Kale, who I don't think has a cave with the fog gate, so I didn't go over there. I was trying to check from a distance. We got Eldia's Keep. Nice. All right, so backside, right outside that Dark Lurker fight. Oh, and then Dragon Airy, the fog gate we went into in Majula, but the other side. Lost Sinner fight replaced by Dragon Rider. Interesting. Lost Sinner doesn't have a lot of health normally anyways, so this will be fun. Very laid back fight. The funny thing about it is that I'm playing so sloppy on this one, but then I had to go in Matrix mode for so many others that, like, this playthrough's all over the place with skill and gameplay as well. It's not super sweaty all the time. You can just have fun. I'm getting hit quite a lot on here. Not even caring because I have so many Estus shards that I've turned in that there actually is a little bit of a surplus. And 1 Sublime Bone Dust turned in, though I think I actually have 2 right now. I might even have, like, the possibility to get +3 Estus. You guys tell me if you caught that and that was wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure I do have at least 1 extra Sublime Bone Dust in the actual inventory, ironically. Well, that was pretty easy. And a human effigy. I'll take 2 of them, no worries. So I was imagining Primal Bonfire, but I was wrong. There's a fog gate right after the door when you open it, which is really weird. So Shrine of Amana, oh, that's Demon of Song backwards, so inside the hut. Well, first we got to take out Lizzie over here. And the brother Glizzy. And then the cousin Tizzy. Yep. All right, after all these enemies in the water are dead, I realized that the items in this pool of water aren't that impressive, so we move on to the cave. And we got the experiment from Aldea over there. We got a thief that comes and chases me. Technically a mannequin, if you want to be accurate. So we light the bonfire after that, go get more vigor in Majula. And then, are we going to go strength too? Yeah, I think, yeah, strength seems like a good idea. Let's do it. Back to Shrine of Amana Cave, Roy's resting place to be exact. What's on the inside of this one? Things betwixt. Explosive lizard. Vengarl in a hole. Okay, well that was interesting. And also, even more interesting than that, I almost died to the skeleton who's the scaling of a Things Betwixt character. Mind you. How? How the hell would you die to that? That's too easy. Like, it's so lucky I spaced that, I would be dead. And in the pit, nothing crazy. I just attack a dead body because I'm panicking after almost dying there. Shadow Mass 2 is okay. Not too bad. It looks pretty cool too, but you know, it's like, do we go Judgment vibe still? I think we stick Batman. Stick with Batman always, unless there's a better scenario. Because that's what Batman would do. And we find ourselves at Drangleic Castle interior Dragon Rider Arena backwards, and a gargoyle is on the ground, and I see a regular Dragon Rider on the podium too. Very interesting, man. So buff up, and we gotta trigger the fight. We get pretty far in. Regular Dragon Rider's almost taken out, and he gets me. Better him than the gargoyle, because the gargoyle I wasn't even gonna pick on until later. All right, let's see if we can get him toxic right away as he drops down. He takes a second to start up, which is just my luck, because then by the time he starts chasing me, he's already toxic. We have a little bit of spacing with the gargoyle too. I could possibly chip him away. I go for a trade, forgetting he's going to knock me back too. I probably should have waited. But this combination is decent though. It does make the Dragon Rider quite a bit harder, and the damage they're doing is not bad at all actually. So I don't know if I got lucky in this fight. I didn't play it that intelligently for the first part, but I tried to be a bit more careful for the gargoyle after. Very interesting combination, though. I think that gargoyle's trying to get revenge for the fact that I skipped them on the Curse Bro run. And with Dragon Rider being killed, the slice continues and hits the gargoyle as well. Man, his airborne attack is so weak compared to the ones in Dark Souls 1. He's got to take some lessons from the homeboys, man. Go guard a bell tower, like an actual bell tower, like a real church, dude. Bell Tower Bros isn't a church. Get destroyed. I kind of feel bad. I don't think they have a religion, but seriously though, like that's not a church. All right, let's go back out of here. Sinner's Rise, exit of the Lost Sinner, who we were just fighting as Dragon Rider, ironically, after we just killed Dragon Rider again. Weird. Fragrant Branch of Yore, of course, is always going to be in that chest because it's a key item, and Primal Bonfire can only bring us back to Majula, meaning this one certainly is a dead end. So, Endurance, and back to Cardinal Tower on the other side where the Pursuer door is, and there's the gate that normally exists. Ooh, we got Royal Rat Authority and Doors of Pharos Arena. So quite a few unlikely suspects. We got the Huntsman's Copes guys with the hooks. We got a boar, and it looks like Aldea's spawning in. Oh my god, that's crazy. Hey, you know what? The cool thing is we've killed Nashandra. We killed Throne Defender. We made it to the Throne of Want, and we killed the bosses in place of Throne Watcher and Defender, so I feel pretty complete so far. We did some DLC as well. We killed Fume Knight, which is the first DLC character I think that popped up in the playthrough so far too. So yeah, we're missing some suspects from like all bosses that are hard, but like Aldia being in here is nice. The only thing with Aldia though is I don't find him too hard. I do find his fight a little longer on this playthrough. So as courtesy of that, I am going to speed up the fight a little bit once we get it going. Goes for Giant Orb right here. Great opportunity to get some more damage. And after I chip him down this much, it does seem to take a while to get some opportunities because he's not giving me the best RNG in the world. And I'm also trying to not be too greedy, so we're going to go double speed here. His porting seems to be locked into a very similar vicinity in the room too, I've noticed. I don't know if that's just because of the logic of the shuffle and everything, but another big charge up. Should have gone for more, had so much time. Even though this weapon's a little slower. You're going to notice though, I like to lock on for these small orbs and then just run towards him diagonally. Helps you keep centered a lot more, but again, look, he just pops up on the same spot over and over. I want to see him appear behind me. And he finally buffs up, but dude, you're at like a quarter health. I just put Toxic Mist out because I'm like, you know what? Eat some farts. It doesn't necessarily do anything though. Aldi is not really made of human-like material. He's transcended. So, like the genius I am, I almost get my eyebrows burned off and then go back for more punishment. And he's dead. Victory spins. And we got 3 smooth silky stones. Maybe we should have traded those. Aldi is pretty smart. He'd probably want us to. The exit to his arena takes us to Hyde's Tower Flame Upper after you beat Dragon Rider, and Lycia's got some good stuff. Poison Mist, could always stack that with Toxic. Pretty nice for an activation that's quicker. And then we got the Petrified Dragon Bone that's around the same price as other ones, but I'll go down below her and see what's next. Drink Castle. Interior before Looking Glass Night, so we can just go right up and get key to King's Passage after activating the giant and everything, which was very lackluster. Nothing crazy going on there. We do have some suspicious foes blocking King's Passage walkway. Dino Breath jumps to the moon, and then I just cut his feet up a little bit and run to the end. Now we're in the Dark Chasm of Old. That's the easiest one that you do. So I killed this guy that's usually at the end. He's the last guy that you have to kill to exit. And I'm going to take the lift up too. I was like, okay, let's see what's going on here. At the top of the lift, after making a little bit of a trip, I see an old knight. So I'm like, okay, Toxic Mists. I don't think the old knights can be poisoned though. And if they can, it takes a lot. This guy didn't have a lot of health, but look what he did to me. I don't know how that first swing didn't kill me. It's the smallest amount of health I've had left playing Dark Souls 2 that I can remember in recent memory. But at least he sent the lift down with my dead body, just in case anyone cared. Pretty nice of the guy. Back to Hyde's Tower of Flame, so I don't think that Dark Chasm's going to matter because the exit's just going to take us back to a warp pad, which is no area that we really need for anything because they don't really go along with fog gates. We have all of them accessed already. We have Under Drangleic Castle, Gulch, and Shaded Woods. So first bonfire in Hyde's is a must, then we can go back to the exit, which is normally the entrance. Ooh, okay, this is the pathway that goes to Rosabeth. Ironically, she's actually outside her own area, like right beside me over here. You can't really see that well, but I passed by her. And then we go to the fog right here. We're under Sinner's Rise. So Belbros is on the other side of the wall normally. Gonna go up the ladder and then light the actual Bastille bonfire. Check out what exits into where that Rune Sentinel's arena was we saw earlier. We got King Vendrick's hallway up to his arena. And then Iron Keep. Okay, so this is the other side of Old Iron King Arena. We got the poison guy blocking the stairs to Eigel's Idol Bonfire, so I'm gonna have to take him out too. And we'll pull the lever to deactivate the flames, sit down, yada yada. But Shrek, please get out of my way. I need to pursue the area. What's on the other side of the smelting room? Ooh. Okay, this is after you kill Old Iron King. Also ironic and on brand because same area. But also because we've already done the fight, so it feels satisfying that we finally found this part. This is good because it has a primal bonfire, but it also has the fountain for DLC 2. Something that I didn't take into account yet, but we actually could have gotten the key for DLC 2 and gone into it right there. I just didn't have it prepared. So instead I went back to Hyde's Tower of Flame, or Hades, sorry, Hades Tower of Flame. See, now I'm switching up the lingo on you guys because you caught me in off-peak hours with my brain function at 70% instead of 100, so I'm saying hides instead. Well, that Lois Knight's dead, so he didn't have to witness me saying hides a single more time at all. Or a single more. One more time. We got the Black Witch hat from him, which is really cool. I'm gonna pull the lever for the Ornstein Bridge over here. Man, that thing shakes the ground like an earthquake when it falls. How come no other bridges are that menacing? Thing must weigh like 1,000 million pounds. Belfry Luna might have been a mistake to get on the spiral staircase right there and then get cut off from it, because I think there was other stuff we could have looked at up top. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm only realizing this in posts, not when I was actually doing it. Don't want to go down there. That doesn't look that fun. So rather, let's continue through the regular progression. Take out the guys that are usually the explodies. Sneaky jump attack. And they go down fast because usually those enemies that they're replacing are very weak. So we'll go up to Strayed. First thing of business is to just get Strayed active, get the bonfire so we can continue from a closer point of interest. And I'm missing all my swings here. Did I just get somehow kind of tired and forget how to use combat? Just basic rules of combat here? Okay, I must have gone way higher IQ at the last second because I did the follow-up swing, which was horizontal. Very genius in the staircase. And Pinecone Man goes down. So we're gonna Fragrant Branch Strayed, check his inventory. Ooh, he's got Lion Warrior Helm, which reduces falling damage. I'm gonna buy that. And lightning arrows look interesting. Soul of Brave Warrior for 1,400 and something, not bad. And Havel's Helmet I'll grab just because it's so cheap. Now we gotta go across the bridge. Other side of Sinner's Rise over here. What do we got? Belfry Luna. This is all interesting because it's so local to where we were. It's literally not that far away. It's on the other side of the wall that was under Sinner's Rise. That's still connected through the junction that we're at. So much irony here. But my weapon breaks and then I switch to the bow. And then I end up going up to ring the bell. Just seeing if anyone's going to see me sneaking up here. Don't get me. Elephant Man, please. I'm Batman. You can't see me. I'm supposed to see you first. Well, I wonder if this gate opening did anything different for the fog, like that Pharaoh's Lockstone. Ah, no, it didn't, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll go back to the bottom of the bell tower, and we have another stone wall with a fog gate. Yo, last giant is Ivory King. That's pretty awesome, dude. I'm so glad we found Ivory King. Now it really feels like we completed the game, to be fair. And I know we're not done yet, of course, but it really does feel like we're complete here. Beautiful. You love to see it. Such big chunky damage on him, as, you know, you'd expect for Last Giant, of course. So poison's definitely not going to work on him. I'm not sure why I was thinking of that. I have no idea. Very silly of me, but hey, I tried. Ivory King is literally my favorite boss in the game if you just fight him by himself, and because of randomizers, that's actually possible. Though I wouldn't say this was the highlight of all the fights I've had with him. It's a very, very fast one. And you see when he buffs, he drops his weapon while it's buffed and it stays buffed. Isn't that crazy? I love that so much. I don't even care if it fades away in goofy video game magic. The fact that it was actually still buffed when it hit the ground is just, it's a miracle, man. So Soldier Key is something we actually have now because we beat him, so we can go up to Cardinal Tower Pursuer area. And we're in Ava's arena. Okay. Blizzard's done, so that's nice. You know, don't have Eye of the Priestess though, so whoever we're fighting is certainly going to be invisible. I'm gonna play a game with you guys. Guess who this boss is by the end of the fight, but type your comment before you see the end. There's a little trick that the randomizer does where it shows glimpses of the phantom of the enemy once in a while, like an illusion, a ghost, if you will. I'm gonna cut out every clip where that happens till the very end. So based on the very small amount of data you have right there, tell me what I'm fighting right now. And if you can't guess, then be surprised, I guess. Now, whatever this was, just for the sake of surprise, I was taking quite a bit of damage when it hit me, I will say that. But we were chipping it down. I was putting arrows in this enemy as it followed, and I could track the arrow at least and listening to the sounds. Going for a lot of spin the wins and then getting destroyed. But there you see the illusion of what the enemy is show its true self just for that second there, and then I'm gonna kill it. But not though. But not. I thought I was. We're waiting still. Where is he? Okay, this is getting a little bit scary. Oh, there we go. Nice. Well, that felt good. That was only one attempt for an invisible boss. I am so lucky the boss that replaced Ava was that and not something very hard. Oh my god, if that was... I mean, we could even say Ivory King or Fume Knight since we've seen them. That would be maniacal. I don't even actually know how you would do that because they have so many attacks that just keep happening that you wouldn't be able to use sound. Or really even the arrow trick being enough. The arrow would be zipping around the arena so fast, and it'd be such a small enemy. But now we come out in the King's Pets arena, and we have Demon of Song, and what is that sword in the ground? Another Fume Knight, of course. So this is a double fight, and we're going to be fighting Fume Knight and another boss at the same time. That's a little scary, especially because this is the last DLC of the game, the latest one. And it's one of the last fights you do in the game, so I wonder how hard this will be. I think Demon of Song's scaling will be a little bit favorable compared to Fume Knight. So let's take this out really quickly. Oh yeah, the damage on that. I mean, not really as crazy as regular Demon of Song at this point with the fact my weapon's upgraded quite a bit. And, you know, we're stronger, but it's enough where I could probably chip it down to nothing by the time the transition happens and Fume joins the battle. All right, we're just having a little bit of like a... What was that, square dancing? Dude, what are we doing there? Just walking around for a while? He wants to show me how cool this sword is. He's like, yo, look how big this sword is. I know, I don't have big swords, dude. I have a pole arm. I'm being careful. I'm playing the strategist route. And just like a strategist would, I'm hitting you behind you as you turn, so you can't do anything. Oh, never mind. He actually can. I lied. So a little bit better fighting Fume Knight now because we have more iframes, certainly. The damage is a lot better than when we were fighting him in Sin's Arena, of course. And I'm already warmed up on him because I fought him, so there's nothing really to worry about here at all. I feel pretty chill in the end parts of this fight. The only thing I was wondering is, can he actually use the buff that the cats use to heal? That would be bad. And also with that big attack he just gave to me, am I going to be able to heal safely? Let's see. Oh, he turned for a little longer. That's beautiful. Okay. I mean, he's still technically phase 1, which is great. Is this because I'm healing properly? I could probably pop another life gem or something and see if maybe he continues. He's not transitioned at all. There's a high possibility because it's a double fight too that he's only able to do phase 1. I don't know. Because I think we fought him long enough where he could have transitioned, so I'm gonna guess that's the case. Oh no, there he goes. Oh, we got him as he went phase 2. Oh man, that feels good. Oh yeah, okay. Victory spins, that was nice. Dude, Batman's helmet never gets frosty, dude. Isn't that crazy? The other armor was like all cold and stuff like that. He's like, Batman can always see. Batman never gets cold. All right, back in Black Gulch. But this is interesting too. Okay, here something happens that I've never seen in the game before that's either a glitch or an anomaly. Look at this. I open the chest. What the hell is that behind me, dude? What the hell is that behind me? Why is there a big glowing bean in the air? Oh my freaking god, dude. Petrified egg, it disappeared. Okay, that's like horror movie stuff right there. So I was playing the game and I had music on and the music had a weird sound effect pop up around that time I was playing and I literally had a heart attack while I saw that. Because like, you know how scary it is when you've played a game and something that you played this many times has a glitch occur that you've never seen before and it's visually really scary. That freaked me the hell out, dude. So let's get more endurance and forget about that petrified egg popping up just in 3D behind my head. That was crazy. Now we got to go get Forgotten Key because I realized when I went to the DLC fountain and then got to the big steel doors, we don't have the Dragon Talon. So Forgotten Key Under Gulch at the original bonfire we already opened up is a must. Taking out the necessary suspects down here, which was just a Royal Soldier. There was a Rampart Golem that followed me down off the ledge that was one of the basic enemies, but another Rampart Golem actually gives us the key once we kill him. And at this point, I must say, I think that they're one of my favorite enemies in the entire game, even though their armor being pretty great just isn't my fashion style, and their weapons not the greatest compared to others very similarly. They hit hard, man. And they have really cool movesets. They can throw their spear like a javelin, reminding me of the Millwood Knights in Dark Souls 3. We also got Mytha's Soul on the way to Dragon Talon, which is cool. So let's check out what's in the inside of the... Oh yeah, we already were there before. Well, okay, back to Cardinal Tower. Let's get the key for DLC 2 now, because I was talking about that. Can I get the hole, please? I even tried to dress up like a butterfly to make the butterfly on the inside of the hole feel more comfortable. I was thinking like it would be like some sort of ritual, thinking it was my family or whatever, and it would just let me in and like maybe help me, but it didn't do anything. So I got the iron key. We go back to the cauldron room here. I call it the cauldron room because I feel like you're in a giant cauldron bubbling with a bunch of food or something like that. Or just being melted into nothing. All right, what's going on over here? So I did remember correctly. We have the post Iron King room, and now we can open the doors. So up the lift. Is there fog? Indeed there is. Ooh, Looking Glass Knight. Okay. So this is a fight that's interesting. So Looking Glass Knight and Randomizer, if you go backwards through the gate, he already is activated. Which I don't know if that is based on how the game is programmed to trigger him, or there's more fights that are like this. If you remember correctly, almost every fight I went into before that's backwards needed me to run to the other side of the room. Literally. So very interesting, very unique. It makes me wonder if there's a skip that you can do to play Shrine of Amana backwards, or at least play the game backwards, and then go through the gate in the actual game like that. But if you remember on my backwards run of Dark Souls 2, when I went on the other side of the gate, you can't access it like that. It won't let you go through backwards. So we had to use some sort of tomfoolery to basically load up Looking Glass Knight. And that was one of the problems in the backwards run for Dark Souls 2. So how would you achieve it? I'm not sure. Maybe you'd have to drop your character into the arena above the kill boxes in the sky and then like, you know, like basically fly through the air with God mode. I have no idea. But Pursuer is dead. Pretty simple fight. We all know Pursuer goes down easily. Just a lot of spacing on the run and attack. Didn't get too fancy there. Looking Glass Arena exit is Doors of Pharos. But this is the part where you kill the Royal Rat Authority, and it's a dead end, unfortunately. So nothing we can do here. Let's go back to Lenegrass, get that Curved Dragon Greatsword upgraded. And I want to infuse the Mundane Ice Rapier to Lightning. So those Bolt Stones did come in handy. Oh, I forgot that we killed Ava, or Ludden Zalin, sorry. So now this access point's active, which is awesome. I wonder if that takes us anywhere cool. So let's check it out. Before we were just at a useless area. Now we got Frozen Helium Lois from inside the garrison, so it does take us back to where it would normally correspond, and I just do this weird dance when I try to open the door to exit. So we can't go through the door. Only other options going inside the coffin. And I guess we're doing Frigid Outskirts, guys, so buckle in. I'm going to spare you the details of showing you the entire run in full speed, because that would be absolutely stupid. But I will say, though, that there was no enemies that popped up that could actually chase me, so it was the easiest Frigid Outskirts I've ever had. No items of interest, really, and let's see what's in the arena. That takes us to Harvest Valley on the other side of where Skeleton Lord Bridge was. Nice. So Cloanne has Soul of Great Hero for 7,200. Nice. Amazing. Ooh, she has Great Fireball, but she has Sunlight Blade. I wish I could get that, but I don't think we're going to be able to use it by the end, guys. Gonna open up Harvest Valley, go into where Covetous Demon is. Now that we're speedrunning, and oh my god, this was the moment, guys. Basically what happened, I was saying a miracle or a synchronicity happened. I was going through Harvest Valley, and there was a song on my Spotify called The Valley playing. And in the song, the lyrics said, "You're in the valley, you're going the right way, you're going to shine my bright star," or something like that. It's like, this is all you need or whatever. And I was thinking, when am I going to find the Ashen Mistheart? Because we needed to beat the game. We already found the Throne of Water. In my head, I was thinking I really need to go and rush to find the Ashen Mistheart. And that song, The Valley, had lyrics that said something about the sin. Not the first sin, but the sin over and over again. It kept saying the sin. We're playing Scholar the first sin. We were in the valley. The song's name's The Valley, and it said I was going to find something. And I found what I needed the second after the song ended going through that gate while I was in the valley. So my mind was blown. I was like, dude, what the hell is going on? And then now we need to find Giant Lord. So at least we have Ashen Mistheart to go into Giant Lord's memory, which takes us to Iron Keep, Ironhearth Hall. And that's on the inside of where we already were on the outside. So we can just open this iron door and we're back where we were, looped fully. Kind of a dead end, but it reminded me I didn't go and do the inside of the Iron Keep. So Smelter Demon Gate's still up for grabs. Can go there. Forest of Fallen Giants. Okay, a little bit of a pass through to another gate, a little roller coaster. And then DLC 1 cave after Gank Squad, maybe it looks like. I don't know. Things Betwixt. Okay, I don't know what this area is. Okay, I can't remember actually where this is. So a long time ago, I played all of Things Betwixt, like way back on the original version of DS2. I haven't done it forever though. So I genuinely don't know where this is in Things Betwixt. You guys can tell me in the comments. Back to the exit of Iron Keep. We got the Iron Key, which we can use now to go and open up Last Giant, sorry. The area with the lift in Cardinal Tower. And we got 2 Rampart Golems. You think I'm dying in front of Majorold like I did last time playing Curse Bro? Definitely not, dude. There's no chance. No, see, like I learned my lesson. I almost died there. Yo, we're swerving, man. Ice Rapier up the bum, number 1. Swerve him again. Ice Rapier up the bum, number 2, but he's made of ice, so he takes it a little slower. Okay, there we go. Majorold, I was freaking out because I thought the incense item page was actually the items he sold, but it's all the ones I have, so that's kind of a funny thing. Havel's Great Shield's great at 10,000. I'm really thinking of grabbing that since, you know, if I can meet requirements, it's good, but we got second Dragon Ring on deck. I'd rather spend the budget on that. Still have a little bit for human effigies, so I'll get a little bit of those if I feel like it. I'm debating Radiant Life Gems seem better though, so I can come back. But we could also pop some souls and buy more. I'm going to offer some Dragon Scales in the meantime, deepen the Covenant Devotion, and he gives me Homeward Bones as the gift, which is great. So yeah, we can always go back to Majorold for human effigies if we need to. Got the Iron Key to open the door now. And we had to jump through that hole one more time, obviously, but now we have access to Last Giant Fog over here. And on top of that, too, we have the inside where the shortcut is. Now, this is something that I can't confirm 100%. I want to say with certainty, I never went back to the Last Giant front of the Fog Gate in the whole playthrough, but I did go to this exit one right here, which takes us to Frozen Ilium Lois, the interior, where we can rescue the 3rd Lois Knight. Sublime Bone Dust is available right there. So there's a Lois Knight. That's the first one we actually can get because we're doing this all jumbled. After him, there's 2 Fog Gates, which is really cool. So pick this one. Let's see what we got. Cave of Dead. Okay, cool. Not yet. What's the other one? Broom Tower. Oh, yo, this is where the scepter is. The Scorched Iron Scepter to activate the foyer lifts, dude. We've needed this for like most of the playthrough. Oh my god. Okay, I have the fall gear too, so I can fall down and skip the area where Quicksword Rachel usually would be. That's sick, dude. Basically, don't even have to go through slowly. You can just fall down because the fall gear. Grab the scepter. Doesn't even matter if I die, but you know, I can homeward out really quickly around the corner. Go back to Cave of the Dead. And then, yeah, we made it through there, but Life Ring 3 broke on the way, I'll just tell you that much. Broom Tower dead end, maybe? Let's see. Let's run all the way back up. Yeah, that's a dead end. Okay, well, back to this area. We can still keep progressing through Ilium Lois. We didn't get it fully open at all, so back around to Ava. We have Ava's gate, obviously, to check. But let me show you something really quickly. This is funny. If you go out the doors that begin the area, we already talked to Elsana and she got rid of the blizzard, right? So, look at this. Dude, the initial event opens up and it happens, but then it cancels the ice. It flashes away. Isn't that funny? My God, so good. All right, we're in betwixt. I might as well use the coffin, but you know what? I switched the character back to what we made as a beautiful creation and kept it sacred. You know, we're just gonna keep going through the area. And I think it's time to go get the garrison key, actually, because we're right around the corner from the second bonfire and that. So now that the blizzard's gone, can light the torches over there and just go in the cave really quick. And there's the garrison ward key. And as I was pulling this lever, boom! I don't even know how to describe the feeling of that, but wow. My rib cage has never felt like that ever. And now I don't even have one. It's just a bunch of dust. Breathing's easier, at least. I can open the garrison ward from the outside. So I don't think it would have worked from the inside because it's not normally a trigger for the door, but it's possible that I could have somehow. Maybe the game has a flag for that. Who knows? Let's go get the Eye of the Priestess. We never did, and it just feels right to pick it up rather than leave it glowing on the podium there. And we got Large Titanite and Life Gem outside of this gate that's on the other side of where we started. Ooh, okay. So we have Alana Squalid Queen with Throne Defender replacing her, meaning that the Defender that we dunked off the edge in the Dragon Rider fight did not get enough. He wanted to go round 2. And it's kind of funny too, because like I'm using Toxic Mist on him, which I know is going to work. It's going to definitely activate. But he's a lot harder than the other one would be. He's actually possibly scaled harder than regular Throne Defender. Let's see. So Ice Rapier +3, which is almost the max upgrade path for it. 2 upgrades short. Lightning infused. We got some dexterity. We got stats. We got strength, obviously. Some rings. It looks like he is a little tankier. Not by a crazy amount, but a little bit. Oh, take a parry. Okay, now I'm just going to get addicted to parries on this fight. Another one? Okay, maybe that one didn't work. But I got lucky, though, that kind of like iframed right there. Nope. Parry didn't work there. Should I go for another? I want at least one more. Can we do it again? I like the sound. Okay, Toxic Mist first. Don't get too greedy. Don't want to lose on this fight. Like at this point, I genuinely have been playing this run for so long. Like when I say like over a week or so, like again, it was spaced out a little bit. It was my birthday not super long ago. And then like I did have to take some time to travel. Just to see my family. I don't visit them as often as I got to visit them in the past. Oh, there's the parry. Nice. Yeah, so I only got to work on this in between that time frame and other obligations, as well as there's other stuff going on project wise. So I've been playing this run for so long and so intently towards the end that I was really just trying to close off the game because I was really happy with all the stuff we picked up. We went through so many fog gates on this so far that I don't care if we go through every single one in the game. It would be maddening to actually go through every single possible room there is. And I don't think you even want to see a video of that, to be fair. I don't think it's necessary. Like maybe some people would, they'd watch it, but it really doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, I found the throne. Give me the Giant's Kinship to pair with Ashen Mistheart so I can beat the game, because that's what you need to spawn Nishandra, or so I think, right? That's what it says if you Google it. That's what it's always needed to be. On the backwards run, it was very similar. Giant's Kinship and the Ashen Mistheart. You don't need the King's Ring, because if you're already in the throne, you're already in the throne. That's not a flag for her fight. So we get to things betwixt through the giant stone doors that open after Defender dies in place of Alana. And nothing really there. There's a dead end, so go to betwixt, go back to Elium Lois to go to the, what would be, I guess, technically the other area with the Lois Knight. And now we're in the upper garrison. Get the bonfire for the upper garrison, go into the Covetous Demon Cave, and it's just completely empty. I don't know what happened there. He gave me an Elizabeth Mushroom at least, so I'm taking all of his goodies, but he's not there at all though. I don't know why. That makes no sense. So let's go save the other Lois Knight at the end of that path. And now we have a lot of Lois Knights, but we still don't have the Ivory King fight. So just send the snowball down, do a little bit of like a speed run trick off the side of the snowball. Feeling like a cool guy running down the bridge. I'm going to chase the snowball, actually. Let's see. I failed to do this last time I played the game. Feels good. Why is it flashing like that? Okay, that was weird. That was a glitch. We were so cool that the snowball was flashing. Hey, at least I got Smelter Demon Soul. That's not bad, actually. And I realized I could go through the fountain backwards to Shrine of Winter, actually. So maybe that would be good to progress the front side of Dragon Lake Castle. Unfortunately, though, Shrine of Winter doesn't open from the inside, so nothing happened. We were just trapped. So we went back. And let's go check out the Giant's memory in the courtyard of Cardinal Tower down here. Forgive me, because I actually literally can't remember the name. I think it's Memory of Oro, specifically. Nothing but just 0 fog gates in this one and Soul of a Giant, so we just got out of there with Sonic being the gatekeeper at the end. Back to Brim Tower now that it's active with the Iron Scepter. Dark Chasm of Old again. That sucks. Okay, let's get out of there. We don't want that. And we're going to Sir Alone now, so we got the lift active for him too. Alone's memory was full of basic-ass enemies that were so easy to run through. I didn't actually kill a single dude, I swear to you. It was so easy. And what do we got in his fog gate? Oh my god. Ruined Sentinel fight from below. Dude, and again, this makes me come full circle, remembering I might have just been able to fall off that upper platform and activate the fight. And in fact, look, I activated the fight from below. So I probably could have done this way earlier in the game, meaning that if there's a chance of us beating the game sooner from this room, then that means I might have been able to just beat the game in maybe half the time. But I get Michael Jordan dunked while thinking of all that, taking my sweet time, and Lost Sinner gets the point. Let's run it back. Dark Lurker, Sir Alone, and Lost Sinner in one room surely is frightening. But I do take down Sinner pretty quickly. I take down Sir Alone, and now I'm just fighting Dark Lurker. Everything seems smooth sailing. I've fought Dark Lurker so many times on this run and so many times in my life at this point that I feel like I should become Dark Lurker in some way. Should just take over his duties. But of course, victory achieved and Forbidden Sun takes me out. That's ridiculous, man. So we have to go back. That didn't count even though it said it victory achieved. All right, here's the full fight. Sinner comes in with the lunge. I'm using the pike this time, actually. I switch up the ice rapier, even though I liked how speedy it was. Damages is not cutting it for this fight. Maybe I can get some double swings, but dude, talk about double hits. I just completely deleted Lost Sinner. Amazing. Okay, so we got some snipes overhead by Dark Lurker. That's not amazing. Blue Tearstone Ring, though, was acquired in the whole spectrum of things we were doing recently, and that actually came in handy because it activated in this fight. So it's a little bit of a safeguard as my 4th ring rather than using Covetous Serpent or trying to slot in something that doesn't really fit with the build right now, because that's what I was struggling with a lot of the time playing this, is that 4th ring slot, you know, next to Life Ring, Ring of Blades, and either Second Dragon or Royal Soldier. But I think that what happened, though, was I forgot Royal Soldier and Second Dragon are both active, and in lieu of Life Ring breaking and me being slow to repair them at times, when I had all of those options, all 4 of them, I didn't optimize them, then swap the Silver Serpent. I just kind of left Silver Serpent on and left a ring broken sometimes. And Sir Alone's buffed up now. Oh, he does something also I've never seen in the game before. And I'm not even joking, dude. This I've never seen before. Okay, wait. Does it happen here? Oh, maybe I cut out the fight that it happened in. Oh my god. I killed him. Guys, I think I cut the fight where it happened. Okay. It's in the footage. Remind me that it's in the footage in the comments and just ask if I could possibly make a short video of it or something like that. But I swear to you, Sir Alone parried me. I don't know how. I don't know if it's something, like, I'm sure it's probably just a regular thing I've just never experienced, but the dude parried me, and he put me in the parry animation the player does to another person on the ground and then did the critical. Like, what the hell is that? How do you have that happen? I've never had it happen. It's like Soul of Cinder can parry you in Dark Souls 3, but I have had that happen quite a few times because all you have to do is attack him in Curve Sword phase. So I'm assuming it's something similar to that nature, and I've gotten lucky. That blew my mind, though, too. That was another really crazy highlight of this, so... It looks like in the final bits of stuff that I was trying to slim down, it was not there. Probably pretty deep into one of the failed attempts, but this one took quite a few. Wasn't that many. It was like a handful, I would say, maybe 5 attempts. But now that we're on the good one, let's just be smart on Dark Lurker here. And there's nothing new about this fight at all. The room size is actually pretty relevant to the other arenas we fought him in too. Bit smaller than Guardian Dragons. It's certainly bigger than the cave with Fume Knight to a degree because of the fact it's kind of square. And no healing, obviously, this time, which is nice. They can't just heal up by being in the corner, which was like a really big problem with that one. The pillars, not worried. Although it would be really cool if you could activate the hidden doors while you're in the fight. Could you imagine that? I think I've said that with Rune Sentinels as well. So I can imagine you have those to escape through. You're going to realize something interesting, though, as you might have remembered from earlier. The fog wall that borders the hidden rooms from the inside are also active fog gates on the outside, too, meaning that we just activated, like I said, the biggest portal of fog gates that you could possibly have in 1 square radius of the entire game. So I'm gonna save that for later still. We know that's the thing. We go through the fog gate to exit the arena, realizing I've already been to that side of Shrine of Amana through the big platform. It's a dead end as well. Let's open up all the doors and see what's behind door number 1. Starting from left to right. All right, so we got the exit of it. Looks like Iron Keep. Well, entrance of Iron Keep normally going back to Mythos Fog Gate. So we're gonna go down the lifts, and as always, guys, send the lift back up. You don't want to have long lifts be completely absent. And what's in Mythos Fog Gate over here? Probably should heal up a little bit. Ooh, okay, I found Giant Lord, but it's actually Sir Alone's memory. So it doesn't count as Giant's kinship quite yet. We're getting a little closer, though. I can smell the victory of that. We will find Giant Lord. I mean, we found Ancient Dragon. Of course, we found everything else we needed so far. We've even done quite a bit of DLC. But it really makes me wonder how many hours in total, if I made a few different decisions, would it have taken to find all the stuff we need for this playthrough. Just so many different ways it could have gone, obviously, with the ordering of things that were more selective, and also me forgetting more things, because I'll be honest, I do take pride in my memory being decent. Like, I don't have the best memory of all time, but it's okay. And I've had a much worse memory in the past, especially while streaming these types of games and just, like, you know, having bad sleep here and there, having bad lifestyle habits. And I've been really working on being better at that. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, maybe have experimented with in the past, or maybe you're on a path of trying to be a little bit healthier mentally, physically, possibly even spiritually in some ways. And I'll say, like, it's a miracle I literally didn't forget too many things playing this, because especially with ADHD brain, dude, this kind of run, maybe it's because of ADHD brain that I didn't, but it's so easy to forget small things that you'd never be able to figure out where you are. Especially when you start to go into one portal, then another gate, then another gate, then another gate, and then you're like, where was I originally and how did you get back to that one? Now, I will say, I was going to mention, what did I go back in the footage and look at to find so far? It was literally just the Old Iron King room where you go to the second DLC. I did watch back one of the files I had on the computer recorded, because I remembered around the time I was at there, just couldn't figure out exactly what the gate was. That's the only one I double checked on. And now we have Dragon Lake Castle all of a sudden from the front, which we wanted anyways. Amazing. Shrine of Winter can be opened. It's beautiful. But unfortunately, even though we got Shaded Woods, the lever room over here can't really do anything, so that sucks. Let's go to door number 2. Ooh, okay, Freya fight. Not really ready for this kind of action yet. I mean, I'm sure we could take him, but yeah, let me reposition myself and then we'll go back to that one now that I'm prepared. So I dipped out of there really quickly, then went back in just ready for it. And we took out some hooligans in the background over here before we could actually fight what would actually be Freya. Haven't seen Freya randomized yet, too, which is kind of funny because Freya on Randomizer seems to not shoot the laser. I found that interesting. Maybe there's people here that have had that experience. Let me know if you have. But yeah, like, I didn't know that. Very interesting indeed. So, lots of action, of course, from the Desert Sorceresses, but easy to kill. Oh my god, that one almost blew me up. Get out of here. I mean, they look pretty inviting, but their voices when they die, dude, that's like... It's gotta be like at least 20 decades chain smoking with like... Possibly like also, you know, like being a voice actor for the Cookie Monster at the same time. Potentially, I don't know. And then maybe even a little bit of like, just eating black tar on My Odd Addiction or whatever that show is. Strange Addiction. Could be a little bit of both. Vocal cords are just completely like distorted there. I don't know. Speaking of that, Mytha. Crazy lore. Mytha and Covetous Demon piss me off because they could be normal people. They could have been regular NPCs, but they made themselves goofy. Imagine, for the sake of vanity, putting poison in the makeup, you know, and then just becoming a snake. Or eating to impress somebody. That's weird. So those two reasons alone are why we have, you know, that whole section of the game, Earthern Peak, Harvest Valley. Crazy. But Myth is dead. We got the Golden Wing Shield. Not the greatest. It's okay. But Shoebox Prison once again in the inside of Bastille, right outside Rune Sentinel Air Arena, which we are actually using to get all these final gates that I'm hoping will take us to something good. So we got Great Soul on the way back through, at least. I almost forgot that. Let's go check out this one. Oh my god, we found it, guys! Yes, dude, Giant's Kinship, yes! Okay, but there's a problem still. So I broke my weapon already, and then Iron King is the Iron King is Giant Lord, but he's not doing anything. And he's not activating, because we probably have to go to the other side of the arena. Then, yeah, there's like this ninja guy and a pig and some other dudes, and they're moving really fast. So we are... okay. Catapult at least took out some of them. They start chasing me, trying to heal, and dude, look how quickly Vengarl speeds up on me. Are they in double speed for their movement or something? What the hell is going on there? Oh my god. I trigger pretty much the giant roly-poly head to take out most of them, using the catapults to at least pepper spray the skeletons chasing me. And then what happens is the remaining ones fade out as Iron King pulls up to the statue but gets stuck. So I'm gonna try to at least carefully backtrack, but I want to see if Toxic Mist does anything. It doesn't look like it does. We're gonna backtrack up to the safe zone where you usually activate the actual statue over here. And the only thing that makes sense at this point, since he is stuck, is just cheesing him, to be fair. I didn't want to get that cheesy, but I did. I just took out the bow and just shot him in the head the whole time to finish him off, because there's nothing else really redeeming in this fight. He's easy to kill from behind with a weapon. Like, you can actually kill Old Iron King so easily in Randomizer, it's stupid. And that's what I would have done. So I got Giant's Kinship at least. We're gonna exit the arena on the other side. And we got Iron Keep, which is nothing special, because on the other side of that door, we've already gone through the whole area with Major Rolled and everything. There's no fog gate there, I'm assuming. And so, Curved Dragon Greatsword, upgraded fully. Faith, so we can use Sacred Oath. But I still need some more attunements, so I'm gonna go make sure I double check that. Southern Ritual Band will increase attunement slots so we can actually put it on along with Iron Flesh and Replenishment, but I changed Iron Flesh last second because I like Toxic Mist so much. And for the final battle, what if the boss can be toxic? Let's see. But then... I got to Throne of Want and nothing triggered at all, guys. I have the Ashen Mist Heart, I have Giant's Kinship. Nothing happened. So, long story short, basically, guys, you can't escape the arena either because it wants to trigger Nishandra, since I've killed Throne Watcher and Defender. That's my guess, because every other fight, if you remember correctly, even when I killed Throne Watcher Defender, it let me exit the arena. When going back in now, it doesn't, because it wants her to pop up. I don't know what in the game is actually going to trigger Nishandra. I checked the event flags. They weren't file types I could scan with any program to check where it actually pops up, if something was changed. I did my best. I looked through everything. There's even a version of the randomizer for fog gates that updates so then the Nishandra cutscene plays that I installed, but then the game kept crashing after that. And this is as far as we made it. So after doing all that stuff with the throne open, Throne Defender killed, all these great bosses dead, that's the most I could offer you. I really do hope you enjoyed the run. I'm sorry that I couldn't spawn Nishandra on this one of any sort, but we killed her technically. We killed Ivory King. We killed everything. This was so much fun. This was one of the biggest runs I've ever done in my life, so hopefully you enjoy it. I'm going to do more of these on the other games, but if you can get Nishandra to spawn with the proper items that I actually have in my inventory in this, let me know if you've done it before and how, because I spent hours after this trying to figure it out to no avail, and I'm not going to share all the details with you, but that's about it. We technically did it, but at the same time, to what extent? You know, a little bit extra, maybe a little bit less than the exact minimum for the ending cutscene. It was beautiful either way. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment of what kind of run you want to see me do next, and make sure you're subscribed and notified for future videos. I'll see you next time.